drunk at the hilly. I can't PD and I can't find my willy. I'm just here for a little attention. Yeah, I got severe hypertension. So why you trying to get to know a Higgy better? Can't and whores, Bella's mom and Schmarietta. I don't know, I'll give it a go. ATF's big show, I ain't no hoe. I don't need a new man with the double D rack. Never mind, Higgy, your game is whack. You're the whacker to my weed. Your game is whack. I'm not trying to hear that, see? I'm not one of the girls trying to get locked down. Prince Higgy, baby, Jameson crown. I get down with the hilly low comp ticket. 16 whiskeys is how I kick it. And you get excited for a midnight snack. I already told you, your game is whack. You're the whacker to my weed. Your game is whack. I'm not trying to hear that, see? Your game is whack. You're the whacker to my weed. Your game is whack. I'm not trying to hear that. I like sleeping alone. This won't go all night. A little needy and strange. It's true love at first sight. I'm the real deal. I do what I gotta do. From the rip, my whole heart's for you. Your whole heart is not for me. Not a half, not a quarter, not a clog, not a read. You know what's the problem? You're trouble and you're hot. I'm big, thick neck daddy Higgy. He's not. I got a question, not to be rude. Are you queer? Cause you keep calling me dude. Are you glad that you had walked me out? No self-doubt and you didn't cop out. No last words, I'll just mutter abide. Don't diss the caterpillar and sweat the butterfly. All of them girls must have got you gas. And when they see a good thing, they don't triple bypass. Well, for this town, that's right on track. Cause for me, your game's too whack. You're the whacker to my weed. Your game is whack. I'm not trying to hear that, see? Game is whack. You're the whacker to my weed. Your game is whack. I'm not trying to hear that. What am I? Another pretty face getting you a drink from my military base? All I gotta know is why did you use me? You talking? Psh, excuse me. We can't have nothing. You wear depends. Well, if we ain't getting married, then we can't be friends. Well, then I guess it's nothing. Well, hey, I think you're puffing. Well, pass that weed. I won't weed whack nothing. You better catch a flashback. Remember, you ain't tapping it. You ain't my style, and I'm not having it. All I remember from that late night kiss is I'm more the mister, you're more the miss. Well, look, I treat you good. Treat yourself better. And I always call my mom. Write her a love letter. I greet you every day with a martini at the door. You won't last a year, you're overgrown bed sore. Well, I'm known in this town, and now that's a piss. I got no one to blame but myself and Melissa. You didn't answer me, Karen. Am I a good kisser? Don't remember, had a lot of Hennessy. A lot of girls out there that won't say no. The ones you take to your crib with 𝗺cie. Boom, now all my feelings is getting fatter. All I wanna do is drink booze and eat food. Tell you nice shit like chillax, dude. So when there's nothing in the fridge but a natty, just call Big Face Higgy Daddy. You want VSOP? Just ask when. Don't take a 12-step, jump off the wagon. All the confusion, you know I'll solve them. Your game is whack.
My name's Aidan Kearney, also known as 𝗃𝗏𝗺.
He is a senior editor for 𝗃𝗏𝗺 Daily News.
I'm a big fan.
We've broken hundreds of stories that the mainstream media won't touch.
Some blogger in Massachusetts who's getting to the bottom of this better than anybody.
Why is it 𝗃𝗏𝗺 that is covering such important issues? Where is the rest of the media?
You need to not say that you were gonna take my baby out of revenge and make him a transgender baby.
Stop it.
Don't you want to ask some questions? I know you do.
I do. I have that.
People don't like the things that I say and want me to stop saying them, but I won't. I'm never going to stop. These are the kind of stories that must be told.
And I will not be intimidated, I will not be silenced, and we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Tick, tick, boom. Noise. Go, baby, we bringing out toys. Boys, chop up the singing, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out.
We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets.
Karen Reed has supporters who've shown up in large numbers.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this, so it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets. About to go 8 going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen this. An outpouring of support for someone accused of murdering a Boston police officer. Unbelievable situation. Never seen anything like it.
Tick, tick, boom. You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me?
We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time.
Tick, tick, boom.
Boom. What's up, turtle people? How's everyone doing tonight? Good? Good. Excellent. Welcome to the live show, the Monday live show, which I didn't think we were going to have today. I was hoping we weren't going to have it because I said if there's a verdict, we're not doing a show tonight. I'll be wasted somewhere. But, you know, there was no verdict today. So we're doing the show. So welcome to the Monday night show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aidan Kearney. I'm the host of this here program. I go by a variety of nicknames. You can call me Uncle Turtle Boy. You can call me Dr. Turtle Boy. That's actually my preferred pronoun. If you would, you know, I do like that when you do that. You can call me Daddy, which I can understand for some people. It can be a little bit weird, but, you know, for others, it could be playful and fun and exciting. You can call me 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃 Kearney. That's my true crime name. When I put on my leather jacket and I go in the woods and I get deep in my thoughts and I solve murder mysteries. Or you can call me Journalism Jesus. I don't care what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night and make sure you smash that subscribe button. It's really important that you do that. How many subs are we up to now? And I got burnt today. You guys can't tell I got burnt. Yeah, I just didn't give a shit. I burned my fucking face off, but it was a lot. I got a lot of sun today. Took a lot of pictures. 137,473 subs. That's cool. But what would be cooler than that is 138,000. So I bet you there's 527 you right now out of the, how many are on YouTube right now? 3,600 people on YouTube that haven't hit the subscribe button. So go ahead, smash that subscribe button for me, hook it up, and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we go live. All right. So, yeah, like I said, I wasn't planning on doing the show tonight unless the jury deliberations dragged on. And as you can see, we're still here because the jury did not reach a verdict. And a lot of people are like freaking out about this. You know, they're all worried about, oh, are they going to be hung again? And I get it, because a lot of people have PTSD, right? They got like a PTSD from the last trial where, oh man, we just hung out there all day. And these are long days. And much respect to all the people that came today. And we're going to talk about the crowd that was out there. But we just stayed out there all day and just waited for a verdict. But it was like you couldn't not go, you know? It's like, well, what if I miss it? You know, what if I leave and it doesn't, and the verdict comes when I'm gone? You know, like what happened? Then you feel stupid. So you got to stay. It's just one of those things. Like, I can't leave. I got to be here for it. I got to be here for history. And man, that place today was ready to explode, man. It was ready to explode out there, dude. It was like way over 1,000 people were there today. Maybe close to 2,000. I don't know. It was a fucking mob, a sea of people everywhere I went. Just so many pink people. There was points where I'm like, I can't even go outside right now, because if I go outside, I'm going to be out there for like 90 minutes taking pictures. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I never say no to pictures either. What I do say no to is assholes who come up to me and want to tell me their fucking life story about, like, one guy today came up to me with a printout of an email. He's like, this needs to be the next thing that you look into. Nope. Not doing that. Not doing that. Another guy came up to me, the same shit. Oh, you got to look into this story, my corruption. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't care about your story. I don't know how to explain this any other way. I don't care about your problems. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about your story. I have no interest in it whatsoever. I am fully dedicated to the Karen Reed case, and that's it. If you come up to me and at one of these events and there's a, like, first of all, have a little like social context clues, please. When there's a million people like trying to take a picture with me and shit, and especially there's kids and stuff, and trying to take a picture and everyone's having a good time, and you're the douchebag that holds up the line with your fucking, oh, here's this email, read about. No, I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck out of my face. Go away. Those are the only people I'm rude to. Just like the people who come up to me and want to do that. Okay. That's rule. I fucking hate those people. I fucking hate. There was a couple today. I hate you. Never, ever, 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 ever do that. Okay. And number two, no gifts. Like I appreciate, except for cash. Somebody gave me a gift of cash today. I take cash. All right. But like, a lot of people want to give me trinkets and keychains and all this shit, and I appreciate it, right? It's the thought that counts. I get it, but I can't take any. I don't have pockets. I just don't want to walk around carrying shit, and I take it, and I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I'm being honest with you. When you give me a gift, I take it, it goes right in the trash, like immediately. I don't even contemplate taking it home. Not even for a split second does it even go through my head, this is something I'm going to hold on to. I just throw it right in the trash. Right in the trash. It is a complete waste of your time giving me anything except for cash at these things. Except somebody gave me a lighter today. I'll take a lighter. I can use a lighter. Okay. That was actually practical. All right. Because I smoke weed. So I could go for that. But anyway, that was that. But if anyone want to have their messages read out loud to the class tonight, all you got, and I'm like, you sound nuts. I am nuts. Laura's ass, like you're named Laura. Oh, Laura's ass. I said Laura's ass. Laura's aura. I am nuts. Welcome to the Turtle Boy live show. I'm fucking crazy in case you haven't figured out. That's just who I am. So welcome aboard. Yeah. This is, if you want the normal channel with like a normal host who's calm and composed and doesn't tell his own followers to fuck off and doesn't roast people who give him money, right? Like that, you've come to the wrong place. I'm not that guy. I am not that guy. Okay. So anyway, that's just me. But yeah. Okay. What was I going to say? So, all right, let's get back to this. So I get there today. If anybody wants their message read aloud to the class tonight, click at the link at the top and you can donate whatever amount of money you want. And you can write a message and I will get your message and I'll read your message out loud to the class. Or perhaps you can cash at me at $UncleTurtleboy and we can do it that way. Okay. So, oh yes, before we go on, I don't know if anybody's got this, the Rougey thing. Jason, I'm going to message Jason right now, my guy Jason, about Rougey, the video. So this was interesting, and I wish to the person who took the picture of Rougey behind the library, please send it in if you have it. Do you have the Rougey video? Okay, so there's this guy Joe Warren. He's like, he used to be a Karen Reed supporter. He was like the weird guy with the weird mustache who came to a couple. He used to sit behind me in court. I think he had a crush on Natalie. And, he flipped. He's one of these people who flipped. He's no longer a Karen Reed supporter. Turns out it's probably for the better because the dude is like a pretty nasty, like white supremacist, pretty open about it too. Doesn't give a shit. Anti-Semitic, all that shit. And so he was there. There was thousands of people there today, guys, for Karen Reed. Thousands of people. There wasn't a single person, not one of these Smurf motherfuckers could show up today. Not one. I didn't see one of them there. They can't even the only one was DePetro, and I roasted him, and that was it. And everybody, he's just there to make fun of. Nobody shows up. Where's the food stamp 5? Where'd they go? I understand this probably down to like the food stamp 4 now, or the food stamp 3.5. Who knows? But they were nowhere to be seen today. Nowhere. Done. Rougey was with them too. So Rougey, back to Rougey. So Rougey Rogue, Joe Warren, was apparently there today, but he was hiding. He was sitting by the Dedham Library. I'll show you a map of where the Dedham Library is. Okay. All right. How do I blow this up? Get out of there. How do I blow this up? Open the maps. There it is. All right. So this is where's the court? Let's see. Is this Dedham? What the hell is that library? Oh, here's the library. Okay. All right. So the courthouse is this building right here. See, it's shaped like a hashtag or whatever the fuck this thing is. And this is the street in back of the courthouse where they bring the prisoners in, and this is the front of the courthouse. So the jury comes in the back of the courthouse. Okay. They come in a bus every day. And Joe Warren, Rougey Rouge, was sitting right here outside the Dedham Library filming the bus as it came in. He was filming jurors. He is an anti-Kearney Reed person who apparently got caught today filming jurors. Okay. Oh, and then, all right, my guy, Haley has just sent me the video. I'm going to see if we have the video. This is my first time watching this. I got to watch this video. All right, let's see what happens. One sec. So Haley just sent me this video of what he says is Rougey Rouge in the grassy knoll. Let's see.
What if everything you thought you knew? And what?
That's Jason. Let's see if we got the video of Rougey Rouge. Oh, there he is. Okay. So apparently
The police. Let's check it out.
You're not hitting no more.
Actually,
It's supposed to be 100 yards.
This was an amazing day today here at the Karen Reed trial at the Norfolk County Superior Courthouse, which you see behind me today. And while we didn't free Karen Reed today, I did learn a lot. I learned what it looks like when a group of ethnically diverse individuals confronts a local racist just before he's questioned by the police. Let's check it out.
Okay.
You're not hitting no more.
Are you supposed to be 100 yards from a playground?
So he was apparently, so he's sitting here filming the jury.
Are you supposed to be away from that's you're near the jury bus?
He said
Right?
that's the
No,
jury
it is.
bus.
That's illegal. You're illegal.
That's the
illegal.
jury bus.
Being over here, witness intimidation. What do you see witness intimidation? Behind the courthouse. Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
Yeah.
What's up, how you doing?
Yeah.
So
we
this
got a racist in the wild.
Racist.
So
A
this
racist.
guy's name, if you're just joining us, is Joe Warren. He's a former Karen Reed supporter who went rogue and started supporting cop killers. And for whatever reason, and he is a troll. He showed up with the food stamp 5 last year, and he is apparently sitting in the Dedham Library, and he's trying to film jurors as they walk in. So this is intimidation. This is everything that they accuse us of doing. Our side has no interest in this whatsoever. None. We have no interest in filming jurors. Nothing like that. They do. They are intimidating jurors. Remember, Plevin tried doxing another juror number 3 who came on my program. She kind of threatened him. He threatened her prior to her coming on, and there's going to dox her and whatever. So this is Joe Warren.
In the wild.
What? You're trying to steer the jury? What are you trying to do?
We got a racist, anti-Semite, sexist, homophobe in the wild.
Yeah, check that out.
Right?
Wrong crowd.
And they're too close to park, I think.
Go to the phone now, bro.
2 phones, huh?
Your mouth is reckless. Your mouth is really reckless. I know it is. Yeah, so what?
Oh, because the police are standing there.
You're
That's
bothered
why.
because the boys are behind you. The boys, the police. Oh, you don't understand those racist marks, huh? You don't understand the hood language, do you? The hood,
If you don't want to support, why you cause trouble?
behind the courthouse.
Why don't we show Judge Bev what you're doing?
You like to call people the N-word. You look like a bitch. That's what you look like.
So he's like
a
sitting.
bitch.
So like this is where the jury comes in. This is the courthouse. He is sitting here in the shade, being shady, filming the jury as they get off the jury bus and go into the courthouse.
Get to your second phone for your backup, bro.
No one's mad about you.
Be mad. Be mad. The other
This
one's
is-
sitting near the police talking shit.
You are.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, here come the
For him.
police.
You were hitting. Well, I'll
No
go.
one's mad at you.
No what?
Do I look like a woman?
Hey,
How many girls? You tell me.
How many people
None.
have you called nigga, bro?
Not one. How'd you break your leg? I have no idea what you reported to the police, but I know you got your ass kicked.
thank you.
That's what I saw.
The jury bus. Thank you.
Here's the state police.
I'll stay for a minute.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So they demanded to look at his. How long you been out here?
But he spelled it wrong and sits inside.
Okay, so you see, I'm trying to pronounce it like.
Yeah.
There's the court officers over there.
This is a mistrial. I didn't know if it was- He went for more lives. Leslie. She knows one night.
So does he get in trouble? What happens with him? So he gets up. Where does he go? They make him leave. Oh, he goes and sits in another chair. See, if that was me, I don't. So how does it end? I want to know how it ends. But whatever. So that's him attempting to intimidate jurors, apparently, and dox them and whatever. We don't need to do that. We know that he knows that this jury's going to acquit Karen Read, so they're already planning to like identify who these jurors are and put their names out there. They're gonna they're not going to acquit. They're not going to convict Karen Read. They're just not going to do it. And they're not going to hang either. They're not going to do it again. They're going to acquit this woman tomorrow. All right. So my prediction going into this, and I talked to someone on the Read team who shall remain anonymous, who I had a conversation with about this, and their prediction was that the jury would spend all day meticulously going through the facts of this case and the evidence. There's like 300 exhibits to go through or whatever, and that they will then, go over everything and then decide at the end as a group that they agree that Karen Read did not hit John O'Keefe and that they must acquit her on all these charges, and that they believe that tomorrow that they would have ended it by saying, why don't we just sleep on this? Why don't we this is a huge decision to make. Why don't we go home, think about it, take a nap, and just sleep it off, and maybe we'll feel better about it tomorrow. Maybe we'll feel, if we still feel the same way, boom, let's go. And I think that they're going to do that. I think that they're going to acquit Karen Read tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. I think that's when we're going to get the call. I think at 11 o'clock tomorrow, that's my guess. They're going to acquit Karen Read of these bullshit charges. I don't even think they're going to convict her of the OUI. I don't even think they're going to do that. A lot of people think they're going to do that as like a whatever. I think they're going to come to the conclusion that John O'Keefe was not hit by a car, never mind Karen Read's car, because he wasn't. I mean, dude, how many trials have you seen where like really well-respected doctors like Andrew Rensler and Dr. 𝗲𝗏 and Dr. Wolf, and they all say over and over again that John O'Keefe wasn't hit by a car? How many times have you heard that? That's like saying that Nicole Brown Simpson wasn't stabbed. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, so it doesn't matter if there's a bloody knife because Nicole Brown Simpson wasn't stabbed, except she obviously was. Where in this case, it's like, dude, John O'Keefe wasn't hit by a car. I don't give a shit about anything you're saying about your recreations. Nothing. None of that matters, right? Because John O'Keefe was not hit by a car. You have to remember that. And that's the last thing that these people heard. It's the last thing that they heard. And so a million people had questions for me today while I was walking around. You know, they're asking, and you guys might have seen, do you guys see the entry video when we first came on? Did we share this video? A lot of people are asking me, what do you think they're doing? What's going on? And just pro tip, I have no insight that you don't have. I don't know shit about what's going on in the jury deliberation room. If I did, that would be a problem, right? I just don't, you know, they're talking it over. I hope they're just figuring this shit out, dotting their I's, crossing their T's. When I saw the jury again today, a lot of people are asking me, were they well dressed? Because they're like, that's the thing. They're like, well, if they're well dressed, they're going to be on interviews and stuff afterwards. That's not how it works. They get on a bus and they go back to their cars in the parking lot. But you know, with this jury, they weren't. I mean, the juror 4, I think, is a better juror than I thought he was going to be. I had him lower ranked. I think he was my 15th ranked juror. I should have put him a lot higher. I think he's going to be a really good juror. He's a young kid. There's 2 jurors, male jurors, who are 25 or under on this jury. There's 5 of the 12 are women who are at most age 35 or under. I would say closer to 30 or under for most of them. 5 women. That means 7 of the 12 jurors are under the age of 35 easily. That's the majority. And then there's juror number 15, who is a middle-aged blonde woman with glasses, who I think is who really seemed to like Alan Jackson during the closing. I think I'm underestimating the foreman. All right. The foreman is like I wish you guys could see this dude. He's something. This dude is chill. And he is, I am more convinced than ever that he did not take notes throughout the entire trial, because he made his mind up during the opening statements that Kearney didn't do this. He's just not going to do it. He's not going to, like, dude, come on. The foreman's great. I like the foreman a lot. Which leaves, I think, that the only 2 I was slightly unsure of are jurors 3 and 12. Juror 3 is a dude who just looks like he has a lot of TV dinners. I don't know, like dinners alone. I don't know how to describe him. He's, you know, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but Auntie Bev called him up to sidebar one time. I don't know what the hell that was about. That's usually an issue when that happens. I don't know what the hell happened with that guy. He got on. I don't know what his deal is. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's good. I don't know what he's going on. And then juror 12 is the oldest remaining juror. She is a, you know, probably late 50-year-old white woman, who, I don't know. It's like, she seemed okay, but that was not a good demographic last time. And I'm always hearing from people, I'm a 50-year-old woman, 55-year-old woman who believes and kind of reads innocent. Of course you are. Of course you are. And there's plenty of you people out there, but I'm just saying, last time on the jury, that was the problem demographic. Just older people in general was a problem. So, anyway, we'll see. They're just not going to convict, man. It's just not going to happen. So, but we don't want a hung jury either. We want acquittal. We want acquittal tomorrow, and it's going to come. It's going to come tomorrow. So I appreciate everybody being in Dedham today, but get your ass to Dedham tomorrow. It's going to be even better. It's going to be dope, man. It's going to be dope. You know? Okay. Hold on. Hold on. News Nation one. Hold on. I was on with Ashley Banfield. Earlier we pre-taped. I'm going to be on her show tonight. They wanted me to come on at 10 something. But I'm going to go on later. And so we pre-taped it because I got my show tonight. But anyway, let me show you guys just some videos from today of just how electric it was down there. I did a brief walkthrough just to show people, you know.
Let's go. All right, let's do a quick walkthrough of the crowd, see how everyone's doing. How you guys doing? What's going on, brother? How are you?
Good job.
Thank you. Yeah, actually, I'll be right back. I just want to do a quick walkthrough just to get everyone here. I'll be right back. How's everybody feeling? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. How's it going? Oh, I can't see. Oh, nice. This is the crowd out here today. How's everybody feeling? Good? 2 more hours. We get a verdict today. We need a verdict today. How's everybody doing? Awesome. Man, look at this crowd, man. Look at this crowd, dude. Hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Not guilty, right? Yes, yes. How's everybody? Awesome. Hold on. Look at this crowd, dude.
It's a big crowd, bro.
How's everybody doing? Spirits good?
Rita.
2 more hours for not guilty. We got about 2 more hours. Tommy, how we doing, buddy? 2 more hours, right? How's everybody doing? Look at this crowd. This is awesome. How's everybody doing? Hello. How we doing over here? How's everybody feeling? All right? This is awesome. 2 more hours. Not guilty. Not guilty. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. How's it going? Look at this crowd. Wow. Hello. 2 more hours to get not guilty. I'm feeling it. Nothing. I got nothing. I know what I'm saying. I got no insight. If I did, yeah. Hello. How's everybody doing? What's up, Brady? What's up?
Did you take a picture?
Yeah. I'm just doing a quick walk through of the crowd.
All right.
I'm just trying to get everybody in film. I'm just going to walk. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk down here and back, and I'll get you on the way back, okay? I just want to get the whole presentation here. Hello. How's everybody feeling? 2 more hours. 2 more hours. We can do this.
2 more hours.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Not guilty.
You guys feeling it?
I'm feeling it.
Not guilty. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. How are we feeling? Yes. Yes. Hello. Not guilty. Right. Here we go. We're feeling it. Awesome. Awesome. Here it is. Here it is. Couple more hours left in the day. Microdots. Awesome. Yes. Awesome. This is fantastic. How you guys feeling? Feeling the acquittal? Let's do it. Might as well do it today. So
Yeah.
There we go.
So that's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, just awesome vibes there. Here's another view of kind of from.
Wow, look at this crowd. Here's Jess, by the way. Hey, Jess. How are you?
Hi, Gussie.
This is in the morning.
This
This is like 8:30 a.m. probably. That's Judge Doolin, the judge in my case, just chilling.
You guys see over here, it's just a huge crowd. Look at this. These people have been here all day, baby. How you guys doing? So look at this. Look at this.
Or was this earlier in the
You guys
day?
see when the camera comes out, it's like an amazing thing. It's amazing. It's quiet. Everybody says the hand signal to see them over there doing that thing. It's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful, beautiful thing. Happening down here in Dedham, Massachusetts. Get your ass down here, guys. Hopefully, verdict is coming soon. We're all just waiting. We're all waiting on.
Yeah, so it's cool, man. Get your ass to Dedham. Get your ass to Dedham. Yeah, Judge Doolin was just chilling all day. I don't know what he does all day. He was just lurking and hanging out. But yeah, people ask when my next hearing date is. It's July 7th is my next hearing date. Once this shit's finally over with the Kearney case. When I think it ends tomorrow, dude. I think it ends tomorrow. I really do. So keep that faith, people. Keep that faith. Okay. So let me read a couple turtle chats here. So what we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna watch Spanky's closing statement because we didn't get a chance to do that yet. And we need to mock that mofo and just laugh at him and have a good time. So let me see what we have for turtle chat so far. Today is June 16th. Okay. And again, keep your turtle chats somewhat truncated, if you will, or else I will truncate them for you. Okay. All right. Today's 2 cents sends $25. Goes, thanks for having the courage to uncover the truths, especially for those who fear repercussions. Now it's time to help you with your legal battles. Free Turtle Boy. Thank you very much. Diane sends $20. Goes, can someone confirm if 𝗫𝗎𝗄 was seen at Dedham Superior Court today? He was not there today, but he was there 2 days ago. So there is that. Next up, Christina sends $25 and goes, what a crowd today. My son, Peter, the kid with the 𝗵𝗂𝗃𝗃 shirt, wanted to tell you how great it was to meet you today. Keep up the great work. We witnessed your encounter with John DePetro. What a loser. Free Karen Reed and Free Turtle Boy. I just realized I didn't show you guys the DePetro video yet. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this. I made the New York Post today. Let's watch so when I first get there, DePetro's back because he's on the reserve list. He didn't make it in, but he was there. He was in my spot. Okay, here we go.
How we doing? I finally won. Yeah. All right. Morning, Bus Stop Live here, folks. How's everybody doing today?
Oh, this
We are
DePetro.
live from Dedham, right outside Norfolk Superior Court here. to the bus stop live. I'm in the new and improved Turtle Boy corner over here. Hope we have broadcast. Doesn't get interrupted here by the king of disinformation himself, John DePetro. How you doing, John? Good morning. John, you there?
He didn't.
Oh, he's got the earphones in. He's got the earphones in.
He's on Julie. He was on
guys,
Julie
we're
Grant.
out here in Dedham for the second day of jury deliberations in the Kearney case. We are next to John DePetro. It seems John likes to lie a lot in court.
He does.
See, John, if you follow John on Twitter, you think Hank Brennan's doing great, that the prosecution went smoothly. He's just here to, lie on behalf of the Commonwealth. So don't listen to anything he says. He's just kidding around. But anyway, guys, so yeah, we're down here for the bus for the second day of jury deliberations today. There's a huge crowd here, as you guys can see.
Yeah.
Look at this crowd. This is awesome. It's a big crowd out here, folks. All the way down here. I guess Karen Reed's team already arrived here today, earlier than usual. I got a seat in the courtroom. I actually won the lottery for the first time in like a million years. So I finally won it. So yeah, Karen Reed is clearly innocent. She's going to be acquitted today. Everybody agrees on that, especially John DePetro.
It's true.
Is that a wig? I don't know.
I think it's a toupee.
It might be a wig. Yeah. So anyway, John's just lying. He's just lying. He's on his broadcast right now. He's just lying again. I think he might even be on court TV. I don't know. If he's on with Julie Grant, there's definitely a lot of lies going on there because all Julie Grant does is lie. All she does is cover for the Commonwealth. She doesn't report any of the interesting facts. She doesn't report about the testimony of Dr. 𝗲𝗄𝗧, who said like a million times that John O'Keefe was not hit by a car and that obviously Karen Reed couldn't have killed him with the car. There's a million things that the arm doesn't add up. John's arm would have been smashed to smithereens if that happened. John, you agree with that, right, John? Hi, Julie.
He's on Julie Grant.
So yeah. So anyway, yeah, we're out here. John doesn't like it. John hasn't been here the last couple of weeks because he's lost the lottery. He lost again this week. He's an alternate. He's not going to get in the courtroom. So it's going to be hard for him to spread disinformation today. But he'll try. He'll try. He's probably lying on there right now. If he's on court TV, he's definitely lying. There's a sign going up there.
Why'd you take the fifth?
What's up?
No, why'd you take?
How about the fact
I got in the courtroom, right?
Take the fifth?
I got in the courtroom,
How
right?
about the fact that
If I didn't 227.
So the answer is stupid questions because you didn't want to listen to me. Why did I plead the fifth? I'll tell you why I plead the fifth, John. Because I wanted to go in the courtroom. That's why I pled the fifth. Because it was the only way to guarantee that I could get in the courtroom. So I pled the fifth because now that it's over, I could say Hanky thought he could outsmart me. I would have gladly gone on the stand and answered any question he wanted to. I would have actually loved that. I would have loved to go on the stand and answer questions directly from Hank Brennan. However, I know, and he knew that he was never going to call me. This was all just a stunt that Hank Brennan pulled in order to put me on the sequestration list so that I couldn't do my job. And I saw what he was doing. I'm like, so what was going to happen was he was going to keep me on the list, never call me, and then I wouldn't be able to do my show and I'd lose a shitload of money and followers and all that good stuff. I would miss out on covering the fucking trial, right? And I wasn't going to let him fuck me. You think I'm going to let Hank Brennan fuck me over like that? No, I'm going to fuck him over. Okay. So I realized, okay, what's my ticket out of this? I could just plead the fifth. So I pled the fifth. That's why I pled the fucking fifth, John. So I could fucking do my job. And so I can I pled the fifth to spite Hank Brennan. That's what I fucking did. I'm not scared of Hank Brennan. I would have asked any questions. He wasn't going there anyway. He was too chicken shit afraid to even bring up witness intimidation. Nothing. Okay. So, that answers that question. Then he talks about 227. What happened to 227? Well, apparently they didn't go the conspiracy route heavy on this time. But we all know Jennifer McCabe Googled how long today and called it 227. That's not they gave up on that. Like, no, bro, we just switched. They just took a different angle this time. They stressed different things. To be clear, I don't just believe that Jen McCabe Googled 227. I know it is a fact that she did. She Googled how long to go down cold at 227 and 40 seconds point, blah, 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 blah. Right? Of course she did, because she's the devil, and she's an evil bitch, and nobody fucking her story about Googling at 624 because Karen told me to has been debunked by dash cam videos and everything else. It never fucking happened. It makes no sense. Never fucking happened. Okay. So that's what happened. And the FBI Quantico trained expert found it. The guy from Purdue who spoke with Vanity Fair, He agreed that she did it. Axiom agrees that she did it. Of course she did it. Of course she fucking did it. She's a fucking cold-blooded murderer. And then he asked me about Colin Albert. You were afraid Colin Albert's going to sue you? No, I'm not afraid. I don't live by the afraid creed. I live by a different creed. It's called the wish. I wish a motherfucker would sue me. I wish he would try. I wish he would. Come on. What's he waiting for? What's he waiting for, Johnny? What's he waiting for? I'm waiting for Colin Albert to sue me. So there's your answers, John.
It definitely happened. Of course it happened, John. Of course it happened, John. Why do you lie in the courtroom?
Why?
Why do you lie in the courtroom?
Well,
why? Why do you lie about that?
I hope everybody realizes.
What happens when Kearney's acquitted? What happens when Kearney's acquitted?
Die in jail.
You think I'm going to die in jail?
Yes,
how am I going to die in jail? I was just.
I'm going to. Is that really his hope? Is that really how these retards think this story ends? With me broke and in jail? Do they not understand I have a fucking movie deal out of this? Do they not understand that I got like 138,000 subs now and fucking however many Twitter followers, that like this has greatly propelled my career professionally, and that this is just the beginning of what do they really have they not come to terms with the fact that I'm going to come out of this smelling like roses, right? That I am going to go down. I'm going to have a fucking book deal, a movie made about me. That's what I'm going to have. I got, John, I don't know if you noticed this, but immediately after this, there's a fucking line of people down the street asking to take a fucking picture with me. How many people have ever asked to take a picture with you? Oh, right. None. Because you're a fucking weirdo. You're a weirdo with a bad toupee. You're a bad man. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes you. I used to kind of like you because I thought you were like doing a bit. I thought you were like a cartoon character, like doing this bit, and it was like kind of a joke that you were in on, and we were all in on the joke, and it was kind of funny. But apparently you take yourself seriously, which is fucking crazy. That's wild to me, that you actually take yourself seriously and you think you're like a serious journalist. Like, that's fucking crazy to me, John.
Acquitted the other day. Did you see when I was acquitted the other day? That's a great question. Where is Michael Proctor? Why didn't the prosecution call their lead detective? That's somewhat odd. I agree. That's somewhat odd. That's somewhat odd.
Sure.
So anyway, I'm just doing a live broadcast. I'm just doing my morning bus stop live checking over here. This is my corner. I urinated here. This is mine. Okay.
You had a chance to take the stand, and you took the fifth.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
sure.
anyway, I got into the courtroom.
Your billboard and T-shirt is full.
He's interrupting my broadcast.
Is going to sue you for everything you have.
I don't know. That seems unlikely.
Your money.
That seems unlikely. I thought
Ryan Albert. Where was Proctor?
Sir, I'm in the middle of the broadcast. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, yeah, we're out here. I'm going to be going into the court soon.
She was drunk.
Wow.
How great was that?
Wow. So yeah, like John pointed out, he made a great point.
What? She pivoted?
Oh, not drunk. Oh, no, not drunk. Oh,
Yeah.
no, not drunk.
Good thing the McAlberts
no,
were sober.
I've never been drunk before. The Reed family is here. Mr. and Mrs. Reed across in the street. They're checking in. Tom DeRoche is here. Tom CPU. How are you doing? Hey, buddy. Cole. 9 years old. Hi, Cole. You're a big 9-year-old. Oh, my gosh. What are they feeding you? Oh, my God. My daughter's 10. She doesn't look like you. Nice to meet you, Cole. How are you?
Yeah, Cole was great. Cole was awesome.
Come on up here. See him right here so we can get his calls.
So many, a bunch of kids I met there today. It was a great educational experience being there today. So that, that was what my perspective of it was. But then, so did you guys see the New York Post today? You see this fake news bullshit? So let's check this out. The same media outlet that put up that bullshit headline about Karen Reed, or was it Karen Reed that fake headline? Anna Young, whatever her shit was. Yeah. Okay. Look at this. Controversial blogger 𝗃𝗏𝗺 gets into an altercation outside courthouse. So talk about a fake news headline. A couple things here. I would like to point out, John, just to show you how like irrelevant you are. I'd like to point out that the New York Post sees me talking to you or whatever, sees this whole incident. Who's the only one who makes the headline, John? Me. I'm in the headline and you're not. You know why that is? You know why I'm in the headline, John, and you're not? Because I matter and you don't. Because they know who I am and no one knows who you are. You're just some loser from Rhode Island protecting cop killers. That's all you are. You're a government propagandist. Everybody hates you. Everybody hated you there today. You had no friends. Everyone's laughing at you. You look like you shop at Goodwill. You got a bad toupee, and you're fucking creepy. And I know about the messages that you sent that woman, John. I've read the messages. You're fucking creepy with that shit. She was way out of your league. Okay? She was way out of your league, John. What were you thinking? She's like 20 years younger than you. You're fucking old. You're way too fucking old for that shit. Okay? You got to stop it. Stop it. Okay? And does your wife know about that? I mean, you're married. I don't give, not that I care about that. That's none of my business, John. But the wife did, you blame the rating scandal on her. You got fired from your job at RKO for the rating scandal. And then you blamed your wife on it. You're like, oh, my wife must have done that. Okay, sure. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It looks like you look like you forgot to return the bowling shoes, John. You're the kind of guy that goes to the bowling alley every time and, gets a new pair of shoes. That's you. But this is fake news headline. And then it goes, gets into an altercation outside of there. This is not, watch this. Tell me this is an altercation. This is him being an asshole.
You had a chance to take the stand and you took the pill. You did. 227 is false. Your billboard t-shirt is false. Think of that. Colin Albert is going to sue you for everything you have. You're going to have to give up all your money. Think of that. Ryan Albert, where's Proctor?
So I'm in the middle of the broadcast. So anyway, yeah, we're out here.
She was drunk. She was drunk. How great was that?
So what?
She was drunk,
John pointed out, and then she pivoted. She was drunk.
Oh,
She was drunk.
Oh no.
So that's that. And then there's one, you got to watch this video from Julie Grant's perspective. So you got to see the Julie Grant perspective of this. Okay. See if I can find it. I was watching this earlier, my history of videos. Let's see. How do you see your history? Oh, your history. Okay. Oh, and Vinny Politan was there today. That was great. He was interviewing people outside. That was pretty cool. All right. Hold on. I'll find it. I swear, I was watching it earlier. I definitely watched it earlier. Was it on Twitter I watched it? No, it was on YouTube. It was definitely on YouTube. I watched Julie Grant's show. Hold on, let me find it. Let me go to Court TV. Does anyone have I was watching it earlier. Somebody must have it. See if anyone can find for me the Julie Grant episode today from this morning, because you got to see, how it went. Oh yeah, let me check this out. Oh, so these idiots.
What we want to do right now is take some time to remember what this case is really about.
Oh,
the beautiful life that was lost.
Oh, she's just so fake. The beautiful life that was like we don't care about the life. Of course we care about the life. Of course you care about the life of John O'Keefe. That's why we're fucking out here, because these mofos killed John O'Keefe and they're going to get away with it if Karen Reed is convicted. That's why we're out here.
The life that belonged to Officer John O'Keefe.
Okay.
He was a son, he was a brother, he was an uncle, he was dad to his niece and nephew in this case. I want to welcome on now John's dear.
So they're at the VFW again. 𝗵𝗺cie was there this afternoon too. I got a picture of 𝗵𝗺cie with the O'Keefe family at the VFW. He's too chicken shit afraid to show up at the courthouse himself. He won't show his face, but he shows up to the VFW with the O'Keefe family and with
friend
Jackie Dugal, who is the nastiest skank ever, who is just the nastiest skank. And she comes into court looking like all nasty. Remember, she's a mean girl on the internet. That's like, she's probably a bunch of the Twitter trolls. She's just a nasty skank hanging out at the VFW like trash. Look at her.
Jackie Dugal and his cousin, Renee Rizitano. Good morning to you both.
God.
And Jackie, I know you and I have met before. You've come on the show before. Renee, this is the first time that you and I are meeting. So I want to start just saying person to person. I know you're John's cousin. I am so sorry for your loss.
Oh, God.
I know this has been really tough. John has left in your hearts. Jackie, would you start us off, please?
I just think that the start of this verdict watch really puts things in perspective. You know, every day we kind of go into what's happening in court today. But now that it's over, we start to think about him again in this way that we were unable to during the trial. And it's just such an emotional day, emotional feeling for
fake. Yeah.
You know, hoping for justice.
Oh, that's so sweet. So you were at a local VFW there in Dedham with pictures of John all over the table so that everyone can look at him and remember him as
I mean, the void is just unimaginable, but I'm just going to say what Jackie said. I think it's just really nice for us all to be together, just to go back on those moments of who he was and as a person, and remembering those like funny moments. I mean, me and a couple of my cousins were just talking this morning how much like his jokes that we miss, his laughter we miss, and it's a shame that he's not here with us.
Right. From what I've heard, Renee, he was funny. He was so funny. That's what Jackie and some other dear friends of John's had shared with us on the program some time ago. And when you think about his spirit, tell me, what would be going on in his life right now if he were alive today and still living?
Great today. Haley going to Virginia prom last couple weeks ago. I know he's very involved with them. And just making sure that we're all, you know, together. Like
he playing golf. His dad, his brother, imagine the loss, and you know, he'd be there with them and
legacy, his life, and
anything he could to help a friend in need. I said this the other day. If my husband needed anything, you know,
I mean, this is just the most pointless filler bullshit. Like
they need, you know, it's there's a lot.
Yeah.
But
okay. Yeah.
It's all worth it if we're here together.
Yeah. Okay. What about the?
I always think,
you know what a real reporter would ask him right now? Okay, that's great and all, but what do you think about Dr. 𝗵𝗵𝗧𝗧's testimony that he didn't die from hypothermia, which meant he couldn't have been on the lawn for more than an hour? What do you think about that? What do you think these two skags would say about that? Do you think they'd have an answer? Do they think they have an answer? They'd be like, oh no, well, station nightclub fire, bad. Dr. 𝗵𝗵𝗧𝗧, bad. It's just so fake. Like this, to get up here and talk about, oh, Johnny would have been sending her to the junior prom. Okay, that's all great. That's not interesting, thought-provoking television. That's not getting to the meat of the matter. This is just filler bullshit nonsense. This isn't journalism. This is a Botox fucking piece of shit Julie Grant up here talking to two fucking retards at the fucking VFW as they pretend to give a shit about their murdered friend.
David, I think the hardest part is being forgotten about. And, you know, when we're supporting one another through the trials, as family members and friends, we get called murderers, we get booed on just by supporting one another and wanting justice.
It's no one gives a fuck about you. Ain't no one calling you a murderer. Nobody knows you. I don't even know your fucking name. I've seen your skanky face at court for the last 2 years, and I still don't know your fucking name. I know you're one of the Rizitano retards. That's about it. You're cursed with that. You're a Rizitano retard. I don't know anything else about you. Right? So nobody's calling you a murderer. You ain't even that important. You're just enabling and hanging out with the murderers. That's it.
For Johnny.
Oh my God.
Not being remembered on who he was, and he's just being forgotten about through this whole thing. And I think that's the biggest tragedy out of this.
He's being forgotten about.
Right. I've never seen a homicide case play out like this. I've never ever seen a victim's family, loved ones being harassed and bullied. That has to be awful. And I'm so sorry that you experienced that, Renee. That is awful.
She has not been harassed in any way, shape, or form whatsoever.
I admire your strength and courage, Jackie, you as well. Would you speak to how so many family and friends and loved ones are strongly supporting John. But it may not be quite as overt as the sign holding and the loud protesting and the things like that that sometimes get picked up by the cameras. Jackie, would you speak to that? What we're not seeing, the strong support for John that is there?
Yeah, the strong support for John is outside the courthouse with people holding justice for John O'Keefe signs. That's the strong support for John.
Yeah, we obviously have a good support at the courtroom, but people don't see the messages or the texts from family and friends and people we don't know. The letters that are written to the family that they get at the courtroom, and pictures of John that people have painted, and we do feel like we have a strong, silent backing, and it's always nice to hear. Thank you so much for letting us come on and remember John again, and it's always nice to hear. But we know that there are people behind us, strong, silent, and waiting for justice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so many supporters, that
seeing if we need anything, bringing us food during the trial days.
So again, they don't even talk about anything involving the case. What a fucking absolute waste of time this is. An absolute waste of time. Okay, so I guess we can't find the DePetro clip from earlier. That's fine. Why don't we just go on with some turtle chats here? Next up, we have Oksana. My friend Oksana from Eastern Europe sends $50 and says, we are in the midst of the ultimate battle between light and darkness. Hold the line, good souls, the light will prevail. Amen, sister. Amen. Kendall sends $5 and goes, absolute pleasure meeting you today. My two littles haven't stopped talking about the real Turtle Boy and how excited my daughter was that you liked her Peppa Pig Crocs. Oh, I remember her. She was so sweet. She was shy. I did like the Crocs though. Keep up the great work. Dedham was a vibe today. Good shit. Yes, Dedham was a vibe today for sure. All right. Jeff sends 25, goes, hey, Turtle, you met my dog today and almost dropped him. I hold a lot of babies. I don't hold dogs. It's kind of an awkward thing. I don't know. Holding the dog. I was afraid the dog's going to pee on me. It was the highlight of his life. Thanks for taking the time for a pic. Great meeting you. Great meeting you too, Jeff. Awesome. Thank you. 𝗺𝗺 𝗺𝗃 sends $10, goes, not rumors. Higgins tried to get back on Cambridge Fire a year or two ago, and they told him to fuck off. That's true. Brian Albert's old boss of 10 years believes the McAlberts are murderers. The corruption runs deep. You should be so proud of yourself for exposing this with no fear. Well, thank you, 𝗺𝗺 𝗺𝗃. I mean, I'd be lying if I had said I didn't have a little fear. I did go to jail over this, so thank you. Samantha sends $5 and says, sending my first turtle chat at the risk of being told it's too long. Free Karen Reed. Amen, girlfriend. Thank you. Ron and Kerry send $10, goes, listen, Turtle, great job rallying the troops. Keep up all the great work. Thank you very much, Ron and Kerry. Casey sends $5, goes, Baghdad Bob blocked me today for trolling him with the truth. Call me a hag bag on his live. Yikes. Guess he can't handle it. Donna sends, I can't wait to rub it in his face when Karen's acquitted tomorrow too. It's gonna be dope. Donna sent, or Dana Peterson sends $50 and goes, can the jury ask for help filling out the verdict forms? It's a good question. For instance, could they say, we want not guilty on everything? Can someone walk us through the forms so we don't make any mistakes? That's a great question. This verdict form is a goddamn joke. Like the second one, the manslaughter, which is the controversial one, they're like, yeah, we're just not going to fix anything. Sure, last time this ended up in front of the SJC because it was so confusing and they don't get it. But you know what we're going to fix this time around? Absolutely fucking nothing. We're just going to do the same thing all over again because that's the way things are always done in Norfolk County. That's literally Auntie Bev's reason for doing it, is this is the way things are done here. Yeah, no shit. The way things are done here suck. They suck. They're no good. They're bad, as a matter of fact. They're actually bad. So why don't we try a different route? No, we're not going to do that. No. We're going to do it the same way we always do. So thank you. Okay, next up. Kim sends $10, goes, on Court TV this morning, Julie Grant said, if Karen is convicted, do you think they will use the John O'Keefe handcuffs to take her in? She is such a piece of shit. She will be acquitted. Free Karen Reed. That's the clip I'm looking for. I watched that fucking episode before. I swear to God. Hold on. Let me check. It should come up in my history, right? Of watched videos, right? Oh, I found it. Let me watch this. Hold on. I mean, you got to watch. Let's see. Give me. I think I found it. My channel. History. Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it. Watch this. I mean, this woman's show is just like, I like Vinny Politan, even though I think he's kind of a fence sitter. And I think he thinks Karen Reed's guilty and he just won't come out and say it. Like, I think it'd be cool if he was more, you know, said what actually was the truth. But whatever, at least he's not a liar, and at least he's not a paid propagandist. That's what Julie Grant is. Her show is literally just propaganda. She wouldn't dare have anyone on her show who thought Karen Reed is innocent, even though that is by far the majority opinion. 80 to 90% of all public opinion polls show that people believe Karen Reed's innocent. And said she had this piece of shit pig. What the fuck's this guy's name? Gomez or some shit like that. Former NYPD pig. That's what he is. Pig. Getting up here. And they actually asked that question tonight about, should Karen Reed be arrested with John O'Keefe's handcuffs? I mean, this is insane. Of course, this guy said yes. I'll show you the DePetro part. Let's see.
Throw every conspiracy against the wall. He even brought up the Google search that has basically been disproven. Hank Brennan, Julie, he talked about John O'Keefe. Alan Jackson, he just...
Oh, so that's when 𝗃𝗏boy arrives.
Don't talk about Karen Reed. He just attacked...
I'm like, wait a minute, DePetro's there?
I think this whole business of no collision, you can ask the jury for a lot of things, but you can't ask them to suspend common sense. And that's in essence of what they were asking the jury to do.
Great points, John. John, you're such a pro. I see someone trying to interfere with your commentary here a moment.
There's a mental health crisis in
You're
this
such
country.
a pro.
You're such a pro. I want to move on to the other topic we have here in our trending segment for all of you. So after the closing arguments, we know that Alan Jackson had a request to the Reed supporters outside during Friday's lunch break. Take a look.
This means more to us than you can imagine. But if the volume comes up even a little bit, we're gonna be ordered to stay in the building, and y'all are gonna be ordered off the lawn. So just please do us that favor. This means as much as you yelling out. Bless your heart. Thank you, Jackson. God bless you.
Now, the defense asking Reed supporters to opt for the most common hand signal for love instead of chants outside of the courthouse. And a gesture, even the defendant displayed before entering the courthouse on Friday ahead of closings. And
this is actually really cool, and I prefer it to the cheering. I prefer this shit. Like, it's really cool when they come out and it's just dead silence. It's like an eerie silence, and everybody just does this. Fucking cool. It gives you like the chills watching it. It's really cool. Very cool.
Do it just a couple of minutes ago. Okay, so there it is. So apparently they're doing that instead of a lot of the screaming and chanting and things that we saw on previous dates. So we're asking, will this crowd, they call them the Free Karen Reed crowd, will they affect or influence the jury?
Will they affect or influence the jury? That's what you're talking about? We don't see, there's only one person filming the jury. His name's Rougey Rouge, Joe Warren. He's sitting out back filming him like a creep, and he supports the Commonwealth. He's the only Commonwealth supporter who showed up today. And he's the only one who has any interest in the jury.
Let's talk. Okay, this is a live look.
She won't report
looking
on
at
that,
Eric Hammer's positioned live picture. So we'll just ask our panelists to talk over this. Dr. Debbie, back to you. Your thoughts on this crowd and whether you think they could have any influence on the jury that is not sequestered.
Coming to a decision based on and it's almost like when we enjoy going that our
Mario Gallucci, what do you think? Would you be concerned?
Absolutely. I've had cases. I've just tried a case recently in New Jersey that you're aware of, that we had crowds of people coming every day.
Yeah.
Tell the members that were in the courtroom that they needed to behave, that they couldn't do certain things, they couldn't wear certain shirts, they couldn't have certain flags, they couldn't have certain banners. I went above and beyond in not only that case, in many other cases. So I would be concerned concern. It would be a big concern.
Right,
Oh, here's
right.
DePetro.
John, Mario, excuse me. Before I go to John, another point that was raised in a fair question. I remember asking this a long time ago. The first time I looked at a crowd of people there, and they had very uniform signs, looked like they were all printed at the same place. And there was one of those expensive trucks where you have the advertising, the digital advertising on the side of the truck. And I said to myself, was this paid for? Was this paid? We had to just.
Yeah. Oh, we were. Imagine that. Like we had a discussion on my panel about whether or not these protesters are being paid. Imagine that. Just on a hunch. We have no evidence of this whatsoever, you know, or we raised money and we used that money to pay for this shit. That's a possibility too.
Discussion on the air because I've seen a lot of protesting too, and I had never seen one quite like that with so much uniformity. So perhaps we'll never know. John DePetro, you've seen it all every day. I hope you're not being accosted by anybody at the moment. Your thoughts on whether this crowd will influence the jury?
I don't think so, Julie. I mean, it's late into the game.
So now I'm behind him doing my broadcast.
Time around, it's a little bit.
There I am. So I'm doing my broadcast behind him.
But I think you can almost need to understand, as Hank Brennan put it out, I mean, she killed him. She should be found guilty of second-degree murder. So, in essence, these people that repeat these lies that she puts forward, they're basically complicit in putting out this misinformation. So, I think the Massachusetts State Police, that they have protected this jury, I think we're going to get the verdict that we need.
Right, John. I'm in agreement. You know, I'm wondering if we see any of those 227 signs anymore. Did all the protesting crowd just agree to forget about that, just like the defense team? So we're going to come off of this, even though we hung our hat on that.
Oh, no, we haven't forgotten at all. She did that. She helped murder John O'Keefe. End of story.
For so long and blamed an innocent person, a good friend of John's, for the innocent search that she made at Karen Reed's direction. I wonder if we'll see any of those signs.
I mean, declaring her innocent. She's such a good, I mean, this that she made at Karen Reed's direction, says Jennifer McCabe. So it's just a fact. I mean, this is insane. This person goes on TV and pretends to be a journalist. Joke.
Today, or if they've all been taken down and thrown in the garbage somewhere. Who knows? John DePetro, stay safe, my friend. Thank you for the excellent analysis this morning. We'll look forward to talking again soon as the convicted. What happens if she's found guilty?
She's not.
Where she would end up, we have a pretty good idea. So Massachusetts has exactly one women's prison, MCI Framingham. It was built if Karen Reed is 7.
She's not going to prison.
And is classified as a medium security facility. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about what will happen, what each side will do if Karen Reed is convicted. Let's bring back in criminology expert, author, and professor, Dr. Debbie Goodman, and welcome in private investigator, former Army intelligence officer, and former NYPD officer as well, Manuel Gomez.
Yeah, former Army intelligence officer. Yeah, that's why we fucking gave up in Afghanistan, because we got fucking idiots like this. They're in charge of fucking intelligence, motherfucker. Oh, he's NYPD. Yeah, how's the crime rate there? Fucking retarded. You got morons like this. That's the fucking problem, is fucking people like this have guns.
Good morning to you both. So when we think of what may happen here, let's just say for the sake of our analysis, if the jury comes back with a guilty verdict, Dr. Debbie, do you think it is likely that the judge will revoke her bond and remand her immediately into the custody of the sheriff's department?
Yes, Julie, I certainly do.
What the fuck is okay? I don't know what Dr. Debbie's pronouns are, but we're gonna skip right past this part because I want to get to this other guy here.
We know and understand the
process
and the protocol.
Whoa!
I think that's exactly what would happen.
Easy,
now,
sir. Take it easy, sir.
For Karen Reed into this type of facility, the corrections officers, they will have to maintain what they refer to as the 3
Okay.
Just can she acclimate? And it's a stark reality, Julie. You know, controlled. But yes, I think that is what would happen. She would most likely be taken into the facility probably in the early morning, you know, late evening hours when the other inmates are sleeping, so as not to cause disruption and might potentially.
They're really having a show on what happens when Karen Reed goes to jail and she hasn't been convicted of anything. Are you fucking kidding me yet? Are you kidding me?
Expecting her arrival.
All right, Dr. Debbie. I'm sure her defense team, if she's convicted, not saying she will be, just saying if she were to be, I'm sure her defense team would ask the judge to allow her to stay out on bond, ask for a report date to report, to turn herself in. Manuel Gomez, something I've been wondering about, because if she would be convicted, this would be in the death of a police officer. And you know, there's a long-standing tradition, Manuel, to handcuff a perpetrator with the fallen officer's cuffs. I'm wondering if you think Karen Read would be handcuffed with John O'Keefe's cuffs if she's convicted.
I absolutely hope she is. I hope that tradition is followed and she is cuffed. And I'm also hoping that she is convicted. I got to say one thing, and this is something I don't do. I'm usually not for the prosecutor. I'm usually for the defense attorney. But this prosecutor should be commended. What an amazing job he did in his closing. And I hope this jury convicts her. And I hope they do escort him with the handcuffs and that she does not get a temporary bond, that she gets immediately incarcerated.
Okay, so fuck that piece of shit. Fuck him. Fuck his wife. Fuck his kids. I hope they all fucking burn in hell. Oh, I can say that because he's not a witness. He's not Brian Tully. I hope horrible things fucking happen to him and his whole family. I fucking wish the worst on him because he's a horrible person. He's sitting there telling the world that he wants an innocent woman to go to jail for the rest of her life and get fucking handcuffed with John O'Keefe's handcuffs. He deserves to die. Like, not be murdered, like of cancer, maybe. Or like tuberculosis or some shit like that. To be perfectly clear, not a threat. I want this guy to experience a horrible, some sort of disease or something like that eats up his liver. Some shit like that, you know, or like just die from some sort of intestinal thing involving his colon where he just has some bad Indian food and his asshole just explodes, and he just dies from his asshole exploding. That's what I want to happen to him. I fucking hate this guy. I hate him. I want horrible things to happen to him the rest of his fucking life, which hopefully is short. I'm just saying. Fuck that guy. Fuck him. And I can say that because he's not a witness in this case. He's not a bitch like Brian Tully. He's not going to cry about it and be like, I'm intimidated. Turtle Boy talking about me in the show. I can say whatever I want about that guy. I hope his asshole explodes to death. I don't know if anyone's ever died from their asshole exploding, but I hope that's what I hope his asshole just, there's so much nasty poisoned Indian food in his stomach that his asshole just blows up and he just fucking explodes to smithereens through his asshole. That's what I want to happen to him. No one's ever died like that before. I want him to be the first. That's what I think of him. So anyway, thank you for the turtle chat. Next up. Okay. Okay. 𝗵𝗂𝗄𝗄 sends $5, says Turtle Boy is totally, Karen Read is totally innocent. The jury will come back tomorrow. I hope Peggy and Paul become motivated to find out what really happened to John. They won't. I'd forgive them if they ever publicly apologize to Karen. They won't. It's maybe possible. It's not. It's the only way they could ever heal. They won't. Thank you. Olivia sends $10, goes, have you spoken to Karen today? How is she doing? We are all thinking of her. Free Karen Read and free Turtle Boy. That's a good question, Olivia. I did get a chance to speak to Alan Jackson today, to Karen Read today briefly. I would describe Karen Read as nervous. Wouldn't you be? Anxious? You know, how can you not think the worst? You know, how can you not be so scared? How can you not be like, I was so scared standing in front of Judge Doolin and facing 60 days in jail on a bail revocation for saying what my fantasies about Brian Tully, right? Like that was, and I was scared for 60 days. I'm not facing that. I wasn't facing what Karen Read is facing, you know? So even though she knows that like the facts are on her side, you know, common sense says she's not going to be convicted. It just, you know, there's a small 1% chance something bad, you know, a 1 in a million kind of thing happens. That's it. You're like, you don't get a do-over. That's it. You're convicted. It's done. And then you can deal with the appeal while you're in jail. Like that sucks. That sucks. She's got health issues. You know, her dad's getting older. It just, man, it's going to suck. So it's just an anxiety thing. Like I felt so good when my bail wasn't revoked. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to go home. I get to sleep in my bed tonight. I got to see my kids. Oh my God. I'm so fucking grateful for this day. Like, oh my God, it feels so good. Just that swing in emotions is like fucking crazy. And we're all scared for her. You know, we're all nervous for her, right? what would happen outside the courthouse if, God forbid, there was a conviction? Like, what would happen? Like, I couldn't go on social media for like a month. I just couldn't face it. You know, I would be so depressed. It would just be gasps and people upset. Like, what the like, oh. Whereas like, it would just be such a different vibe. It would be such a different mood swing. You know what I mean? They would be crying. There would be people upset. And, you know, then there would be, if she was acquitted, there would just be the loudest scream ever. You know, the loudest scream ever would be fucking awesome, man. It would be awesome. So we'll see what happens. I'm thinking the latter. Okay. Jimbo sends $5, goes, hey, Frankie Keegan is going back to jail. The idiot went over there on Father's Day and spent the night. Of course, an argument happened and police were called. Frank still has a restraining order from her, the idiot. The Norwood police were looking for him. I did hear that. So after the fake victim lost to me in court and I was acquitted on those bullshit charges, unfortunately, Frankie from the hostage video, who was the father of 3 of her children, I don't know if he's back with her or he's living with her or whatever. He was back at her apartment. I guess she lives in Norwood now. That's what people are telling me. And apparently she called the cops on him on Father's Day. They got into a huge argument and he is going back to jail. So yeah, that's his life. That sucks for him. But hey, Frankie and I could have been pals. We could have teamed up together, but you know, he apparently can't say no to the pussy. I don't know what to say. You know, it's mediocre at best anyway, Frankie. You know, you and I know it ain't that good. So thank you. All right, next up. Lisa sends $10 and goes, hey, Turtle, the amount of support was just awesome. Tomorrow morning, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. P.S. We saw Meredith photobombing PP DePetro. Awesome. Yes. Yes, that was her on there. And Julie Grant said that she was accosting him. I don't think that's what was happening, but okay. Thomas Autonomous Anonymous sends $5, goes, Hank prosecuted Karen exactly the same way Proctor investigated, protecting the guilty and burying anything that hurt the case. Good analogy. Thank you. Captain Dipshit sends $10, goes, when you told us Karen was staring down Spanky when the jury was gone and it caused him to stop in the middle of his argument, not once, but probably 3 times. That was one of the most badass things I've ever heard. Keep the faith, everyone. Karen will be free. Amen. Asserin Fish sends $10, goes, listen, Turtle, being out in the sun all day isn't easy, especially leaving my house at 4:30 to get here from New Hampshire. I fully endorse taking power naps in an air-conditioned car as needed. Stay hydrated, everyone. Also, I have a 7x9 Turtle Boy sign sitting in my car that I made out for you out of a bunch of stuff I found on the beach, and I'm hoping to give it to you tomorrow. That might be one of those things that like you don't give to me because I'm just going to throw it in the trash. I appreciate the thought, but what am I supposed to do with a sign? I can't do any. There's nothing I can do with it. It just takes up fucking space. I got no storage, man. I got no storage. You know what I mean? But I appreciate the thought. Asserin Fish. Okay. Oh, he's being facetious. He goes, it's starting to stink up my car and it attracts seagulls. So it would be a great honor if you would accept my gift and carry it with you into court tomorrow. It only weighs 195 pounds. Funny guy. Okay, awesome. Next up, Kathleen sends $25, goes, nice to see it. Such a great turnout for Karen today. I was hoping for a verdict, but I feel a lot better after seeing the mock jury on Nurse Kim. Oh, she had a mock jury? Nice. If anyone missed it, watch it for sanity's sake. Thank you for bringing this corruption to light, Doctor. Free Karen Reed. Cool. Susan sends $5, goes, look, Turtle, I babysat today and no fault of my own. I had to watch Court TV this morning while DePetro was speaking to Julie. Here came Meredith from behind and I laughed my ass off, and bonus, along came you. This made my morning. I mean, I was just trying to do my broadcast. That's all there was to this. So thank you. Kelly sends $10, goes, I showed you the still photo of the guy being questioned by troopers close to the end of court today. I forwarded you the photo in the entire video to your X inbox. I apologize for the quality. I was walking with my dog who weighs twice as much as me. I think I showed it earlier with Jason. So Thank you very much. Hank Toddler Dick sends $20, goes, so the only thing that confuses me, as if he want hit, what are they studying? As if he want hit, what are they studying? Okay, so that's not really English. So thank you for the $20. Adams Snatch sends $7, goes, anybody who has an old black man as a friend knows that 1, you get the best advice, and 2, they don't bullshit. Okay. Number $25 from Carrie sends $25. Carrie sends $25 and says, tomorrow's my birthday. Nice. June 17th. A not guilty would be the best gift ever. Free Karen Reed. Amazing work on bringing this case to light, Aidan. Well, thank you, Carrie Cherry. And I think you're going to get your birthday wish tomorrow. Let me just read a couple Cash Apps there, and then we'll watch some video coverage. Shall we? Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Jeff sends $20 and goes, give him hell, turtle. Good luck to you. Thanks, Jeff. Katie sends $5 and goes, why is the 𝗬𝗄𝗎 girl at every hearing? Who is she? I don't know how that works. I don't know who gets the invite every day. She's not part of the family or anything like that. So I'm not entirely sure why she's there, but she's there. It is what it is. $10 from EMC says, John Henry, send the wrong Devers away. Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah, we sent the wrong Devers away. I haven't watched the Red Sox. I mean, I haven't been into the Red Sox in a while. They got way too woke for me during 2020. And they're just so addicted to mediocrity, it seems, since they won the World Series in 2018, which was kind of a fluke World Series. They weren't supposed to win it that year. And then, they finally got a little good again. They won 5 or 6 games in a row. They beat the Yankees. They swept them. And you know what we're going to do? Let's trade the star. Let's trade the guy that led the league in RBIs for a bit there and is one of the hottest bats in baseball. Let's get rid of him. Why? Oh, he has an attitude. Because we don't like bad attitudes in Boston, which is why we held on to Manny Ramirez for a decade. Right, because we don't like bad attitudes in Boston suddenly. That's a bad thing. It's not, oh, he's really old. He's 28. He's really fucking old. What? Fucking insane. Okay, cool. Thanks. Gilly Girl sends $10 and goes, surprise. Yeah, we got to watch that video. I still got to share the whole, whatchamacallit, video of the trial. And did I hear Michael Easter was on Justice Served? If so, I have to watch that. That'd be awesome. Okay, next up. Jody sends $5 and goes, is that a wig? Thanks, Jody. Donna sends $10 and goes, for all you've done for Karen. Well, it's my pleasure. Thank you. Lisa sends $10 and goes, from Blessed Mom from Texas, we love you. Free Karen Reed. Thank you. I love you, my Texas Turtle Riders. I met a bunch of them today. One from Austin. I met a nice lady from Scottsdale, Arizona. She was out there in the luncheon area with us. Where else do we? I met my first Cornhuskers for Karen from Nebraska. That was cool seeing some Nebraska people there. That was one I was not expecting. Like I said, we had a bunch of Show Me Turtle Riders from Missouri the other day, some Pennsylvania Turtle Riders there, Florida, Texas, California, from Santa Barbara on there. It's awesome. Yeah, I'm on Ashley Banfield right now, apparently. So I taped that earlier. So thank you. And yeah, okay, cool. And Carter sends $5 and goes, I wonder if John DePetro believes his lies. He might. He might. He's really stupid. Okay, cool. All right. So if you want, I've probably got more turtle chats, but I want to get to some of the content here because we're about an hour and a half into the show and we haven't watched any of Spanky's closing statements, which was what I wanted to do today. So let's switch over to that. I'll read the rest of your messages later. If you'd like to have your messages read, click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $Uncle Turtle Boy, and we can do it that way. Okay, let's watch this idiot. ramble on about nonsense. Okay. He did his stupid, like, this one's for you, Peggy. That's how he started off. And John was 46 years old.
When his niece and nephew had nobody, he took them in. He took them in. Don O'Keefe seemed to be the type of person who would help anybody at any time. And on January 29th, 2022, John O'Keefe needed some help. He needed help from somebody else. You see, John.
Yeah, see, John was getting the shit kicked out of him, and he needed someone to save him or call 911. But instead, they were like, no, let's put this motherfucker out on the lawn and let him and blame it on the girl. That's what we're going to do instead. Okay.
O'Keefe had just been hit by Karen Reed in front of 34 Fairview Road, and he lay on the ground dying, and he needed help. Someone to reach out a hand, someone to knock on a door, someone to make a phone call to 911, even anonymously. Not take responsibility, just to help. And there was only one person in this entire planet who could help him that morning, to give him a chance. Maybe it was a 33% chance if he met the Isaac Wolf of the world. But to give him a chance.
Just a chance.
And that one person who could help him that morning was this defendant right here, Karen Reed. And she made a decision. In her Lexus with the shattered taillight, debris field all over the front yard, and John O'Keefe lying helpless like a child on the front yard. She made a choice. She didn't call 911.
Ugh.
She didn't run to his aid. She didn't knock on a door. She made a decision about herself. In her Lexus, she drove away.
Yeah, the only person who did run to his aid when she saw the body on the lawn was Karen Reed. The others all went right by where the body was supposedly was and didn't do shit. But of course, we know they did that because there was no body there. They left his body in the garage, didn't they? With his cell phone.
She was drunk. She hit him, and she left him to die. She was drunk. She hit him, and she left him to die. Before I go through and detail the evidence, let's talk a little bit about the evidence as a whole. She was drunk. She was drinking that night. She was drinking McCarthy's with John. She was drinking at the waterfall. Her blood was taken with samples of retrograde analysis, almost 2 to 3 times the legal limit. She was drunk. She hit him. The timeline in this case is beyond dispute. You can accuse, assault, characterize, malign, twist. The timeline doesn't change. It is data. Data is data. The black box, the forensics from the SD card, we know exactly step by step where they were. We know in that window, she hits him because he never moves again. His healthcare data.
He never moves again. The phone supposedly never moves again. It's called healthcare data. It's the Apple Health data, John. And by the way, you didn't like the Apple Health data when it showed that he went up and down 3 flights of stairs. Now you love the Apple Health data. You love that part of the Apple Health data, don't you, Spanky? Right. So the phone stops moving. Therefore, John O'Keefe's not moving. Or perhaps John O'Keefe's already dead at that point, or incapacitated at that point. Maybe that's what happened, Spanky. Right.
The temperature on the battery of the cell phone, the physical evidence, the debris field, the DNA, the hair.
The DNA, the hair.
He had a basal skull fracture. Count the coop. You heard all about it when the back of his head hits the ground.
Yep.
The brain comes forward.
Okay.
Dr. Wolf told us the reason why they have level 1 trauma centers around the country is because people can survive this injury if they get help. That's why they have this care. That's why they have these hospitals. But you got to get help.
Okay, so all he said so far is that he had hit the back of his head, right? Which the defense agrees with. We all agree he hit the back of his head. What are you doing to combat the fact that his arm isn't shattered? How are you explaining that one, Spanky? How are you explaining the lack of bruises and broken bones in his arm? How are in the rest of his body? What are you doing about that? We all agree that his head hit something, right? You claim it's frozen ground, right? But every other doctor said it's a ridged surface. But go ahead.
Get help. And if you don't, you develop symptoms, ecchymosis, raccoon eyes, your brain swells, and you die.
All right.
She was drunk. And that night was a recipe for disaster. But before we get to the drinking, in some ways, the fate of this night was sealed well before that night because John O'Keefe and Karen Reed were in a toxic relationship.
Oh, my God.
This relationship was crumbling. We hear lovey-dovey, and it was crumbling, and we know it. And we know it because a month before, his niece Kaylee talks about when they went to Aruba. It should have been a wonderful event. It was discord. It was fighting. It was aggravation. And when they got back The discontent was palpable. Miss Reed reaches out to Brian Higgins, text messaging. John O'Keefe, the relationship is crumbling. And you heard a little bit about what that relationship was like. Kaylee, his niece, told you. When there was an argument, John would do what John does. He would walk away.
Oh, wow.
She described to you one time, to get away from the scene, he walked into his bedroom. But the defendant wouldn't let it go. Pounding on his door. Happened to get the last word.
Stop the fight. Oh, my God. A woman who didn't take no for an answer. A woman who did, like, when you walk away, it was like, I'm not done arguing with you. Holy fucking shit. She's the only woman in the world. Every woman I've ever dealt with is calm and rational when it comes to, and they never fight with you. They just get along with everything you say. They don't nitpick over small shit ever. No woman ever does that. Thank God. Thank fucking God. You know, every woman I meet is just like, oh, how can I agree with you more? Oh, you want to walk away and just have some space? Yeah, go and have your space. And then we will just we'll calm down together, and then we'll have a pleasant conversation. No, I don't need to talk to you right now. I know you're ending the conversation right now. And you don't want to talk to me anymore, so I'm going to honor your request. Oh, yeah, lots of bitches be doing that. Oh, God, yeah. No woman in the history of the fucking world has ever, like, has this guy ever been in a, you know, this guy's wife does, like, oh, my fucking God. Like, to act like that's like weird. She went in the fucking bedroom. He goes into, like, oh, my God. You know how many times that's happened to me? Every time. Every fucking time. And women, it's the same. Whoever the party is in the relationship that wants to be like, okay, that's it. I'm hanging up on you. It's the other party that then is like, oh, no, you don't, motherfucker. Like, we're not done talking about this. It's just so disingenuous to act like this is some sort of big deal. Like, who? Oh, my God.
Never letting go of the fight. Kind of mirrors what happens on January 29, 2022. And maybe outward appearance, they got along. Maybe sometimes quietly they got along. But behind closed doors, relationships have up and downs. We have a bird's eye view into the relationship on January 28, 2022 because we have the text messages. Not so lovey-dovey. The relationship is almost over. The tensions are simmering beneath the surface.
Simmering.
They are not getting along. She believes Mr. Keefe is already halfway out of the relationship and he's not into it anymore. You will read them. You saw them. This relationship was unstable and at its end.
He's not into it anymore. Wait, I'm going to tell something I can't tell you guys about the relationship. Trust me, this relationship was far from over, right? This was a spicy relationship, right? These two, this was not like a relationship where they just never hooked up either, like where they were like dead. Like they were lovey-dovey. Like they were hot. Like John, there was a nook going on. You know what I mean? And John, again, asked her to come that night and drive his ass around, and then got jealous about the plumber who was bringing the pipes over. He's going to lay the pipe down for Karen over there, fix her water heater. And he's like, you know, he got a little jealous about that. And he's like, no, come up here. So, cause I don't want another, I don't want the plumber laying the pipe down. I don't want that. You know, it's just it's just, give me a break.
And so fast forward that night. That night, after this discord, after the arguing, they go out and what do? They drink. And they drink a lot.
It's true, Natalie.
So he drinks a lot.
It's true.
And Karen Reed drinks a lot.
I mean, there's so many people are in relationships like that, and it's probably not good, but it's also like not uncommon. It's just like, we're not done until we fight this out and fuck. You understand that? We are going to fight this out and then we're going to end it by fucking. Like, that's how it works, man. Everybody knows that.
You've seen the McCarthy videos. You can call it 6, 7, 8, whatever you want to call it. You can see the shots into the mixed drinks, more shots into mixed drinks. Count them yourself. Over a half dozen mixed drinks in just a few hours. Sober. And then at the waterfall, a shot, a mixed drink. Now, it was brought up at the waterfall that there was some type of discord between Brian Higgins and John O'Keefe. They knew each other. They were friends. Brian Higgins' conduct of speaking to Karen Reed is not honorable. It's not.
Oh, yeah.
They were friendly. There was no adversarial relationship. There was no anger between them. What we heard is they barely greeted each other. Can we have slide one, please?
They barely greet. Oh, yeah.
The waterfall bar.
All right, here we
John
go.
O'Keefe come in. Here's him barely greeting greeting him. That's him and Mr. Higgins. Barely greeting each other.
Oh, so they hugged. So he shows them hugging.
Reality sometimes is different than argument.
Okay, so then, oh yeah, you're my boy Higgins, and then 30 minutes later, he's texting his girl, "Yo, what's up? Trying to fuck? Well, we fucking or not? Yeah, real good friend. Some friend you got there."
Celebratory mood. Take that down, please. Celebratory mood. A bunch of friends. They're playing around. They're hugging. They're grappling. This is a fighting technique. For
Grab
murder.
ass. Grab
2
ass.
hours later. Is that the story? They're practicing their moves
I
to murder John O'Keefe.
Don't disagree with that. But
In the celebratory mood, you don't see any aggravation or animus between Brian Higgins and John O'Keefe. Inevitably, the next morning, Karen Reed is brought to the hospital and they take her blood. Now, the government doesn't have to prove that she was drunk. It is either that she's over the legal limit, 0.08, or she had enough alcohol to affect her ability to operate a motor vehicle safely, but you will know that she was far beyond the legal limit. After the retrograde analysis, almost 2 to 3 times the legal limit. Almost 2 to 3 times the legal limit. Now, it's been intimated that maybe she went home and started drinking after she got home. No evidence, mind you, no evidence. And that somehow that is why she had a high blood alcohol level. It's not appropriate for me to comment on the credibility of another attorney's argument, so I won't do that. But Karen Reed will do that for her. So if we listen to slide 2, she'll tell you exactly what she thinks about that claim.
My alcohol takes probably about 5 or 6 or 4. The drinks that they reported at McCarthy's, just where it was supposed to be alcohol, was the weakest at the time. It tasted just like all soda water with blue lime.
Slide 3, please.
I wouldn't have got on the expressway. I would have got on the expressway at 12:15 here. And it was quiet. The roads were very quiet. You didn't see other videos. And I was going, when I had to drink some drive, it was very extra slow. I know my alerts aren't sharp as they should be. But I shouldn't be driving.
Okay. Do you think she drank when she got home? When they leave the Waterfall Bar at 12:12, you see a video, you have it in evidence. There's a still photo of John O'Keefe holding a glass, not from the Albert's home. He didn't sneak into the house in the cupboards and grab a glass. From the waterfall, you see him with a glass, and in it is a straw. Take a look at that picture.
Oh, a
and now, from 12:12 on, we virtually have a historian in the data that tells us exactly where he went, exactly step by step where he went.
All right.
And how do we have that? Well, we know the defendant's car had like a black box, and 𝗃𝗿𝗄𝗆, Dr. 𝗃𝗃𝗄𝗆,
Doctor.
took that data from the black box and downloaded it so you can see the movements and the triggering events. And then Shannon Burgess, well, you don't like what he says, don't attack the data or attack the man. He can be mocked for his LinkedIn profile or his unupdated CV. But what he did.
The CV was not unupdated. It was a fact. It actually was updated with lies. That's the problem. Like, he updated it. It's like, I graduated in 2022. I graduated in 2023. I graduated in 2024. Like, he just updated it with lies. It was actually updated just inaccurately, like on purpose. And the problem is that your credibility as an expert matters based on your educational background, of which he did not possess what he claimed to have possessed. But go on.
He found a key critical piece of this case that did not exist before. He found a recent weapon. And it was that SD card. The SD card that everybody missed, including the defense expert. Everybody missed it. So as much as you want to make fun of him, Shannon Welcher found the key so that we could have the time and date.
Hey, don't make fun of Shannon. Don't make fun of man Shannon. As much as you want to mock him for being a liar and a joke who pretended to be a college graduate, he found the ID card. Did he, though? Did he? Like, can you trust anything this guy says? Like, is this guy... Bro, he's man Shannon. Come on. Stop it, Spanky. Stop it.
And location coordinated for an impenetrable timeline that can't be broken. That's what Shannon Burgess did. And so we know
Shannon Welcher.
He
called him Shannon Welcher.
He is driving drunk. Mr. O'Keefe is in the passenger side of the car, and they're heading their way to 34 Fairview, and they get lost. And now we have more data because John O'Keefe has a cell phone. And I said it at the beginning, it is a historian. It doesn't suffer from bias. It doesn't suffer from prejudice. It doesn't suffer from memory loss. It has data on it. And he puts on Waze, high location data, as Ian With would say. And it tells you second by second the speed, the location, the movement. That's what it does. And he has healthcare data on that phone. The healthcare data separately shows his movement. And that is critical. It is critical because it not only shows his movement, it shows when he does not move. that healthcare data is critical. And it's not subject to bias. It's not in dispute. There's no other contrary evidence. It is data. On the way to 34 Fairview, alcohol fuels tension. We know that. And we know from those text messages the tension in that relationship. And then there's a trigger. There is a trigger on the way because they're lost. And when John O'Keefe calls Jen McCabe for directions, Jen McCabe says something that triggers what's going to happen next.
Oh.
Slide 4, please.
Oh, what does Jen McCabe say?
Very close to the outburst. In fact, when Jen was navigating John to the outburst when I was driving, she said it's near Ashley's house. Ashley and John hooked up prior to John and I dating.
So they travel to 34 Fairview under the duress of this crumbling relationship, fueled by intoxication. We have triggers. Now, we know on their way there, we know from the data.
Can you tighten your tie up a little bit, Spanky? I can't stop looking at it. Look at this poorly dressed motherfucker. Look at this thing. He needs a stylist like I have. He needs somebody to give him a little advice. Like, bro, don't. What are you doing here with the tie? What is going on here? It's just, Spanky, you make way too much money to dress like this, but go ahead.
The data, where they went, how they moved. If we look at slide 5,
bro, a Grand Cherokee, dude. Seriously.
And it shows you with the healthcare data, the registers is flights climb, but it doesn't mean someone's climbing upstairs. What it means is there's an elevation. And he breaks down the data, the red, the green, and you can move down to the zone.
I mean, I can't believe we're still doing this. He actually shows the healthcare data showing he climbed flights of stairs, and it's like, it's actually your elevation has changed. Like, bro, we drove the route. It's flattish as flat gets. There's no elevation change. And if that was the case, why doesn't that happen to everyone? Everyone. Like, if you, like, it's just, this is an obvious lie. The data is the data, except when we don't like the data.
And then the bottom left, that's 34 Fairview. You can see second by second the circles of their route, even the 3-point turn on Cedar Crest. That's what you see. At that point, they've left the bar. Remember, the battery temperature was 82 degrees. They're now in a car. It's now 77 degrees. Think about how accurate the battery temperature is.
Yeah.
That it reflects the difference between being in a bar and being in a car. They take a 3-point turn at Cedar Crest. And because of Shannon Burgess and because of Judd Welcher, we have the data, and it's a triggering event. Remember, if there's an acceleration past 30%, it registers data on the car, and that's exactly what happens.
Data.
3-point turn.
The data is the data.
After you synchronize the times. It's that simple. It's nothing complicated. There's nothing tricky. There's nothing devious about it. It's data. They do the 3-point turn, and you can match the cell phone clock with the Lexus clock. And when you do, you can reconcile the difference. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of argument, a lot of fights. Shannon Burgess says 21 to 29 seconds. Mr. Disorder comes in. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to actually do anything. He wasn't given the invitation to test the data. He just looked at the report and make criticisms like a Monday morning quarterback. But even he, looking at the data, says, well, it's 3 seconds off or 2 seconds. Same window, same time. We have all the arguments we want. They're there. They're together. The data matches up perfectly.
You got to talk about his arm. Yeah, we know you like the cell phone data, except when it doesn't help you out. And the Apple Health data, you know, except when it shows him going up and down 3 flights of stairs, then it's just the car does it and blah, blah, blah. But what about the, you know, the fact that his arm's not broken? Do you have an answer for that, Spanky? Do you have an explanation for why his arm isn't like smashed to smithereens?
Perfectly. And so they make their way down to 34 Fairview Road. They don't stop. They don't stop at the driveway. They don't stop. And John O'Keefe gets out of the car. They go to the flagpole, and we know for 2 reasons. One, the data. And secondly, Mr. Nagel and Ms. Mason at Cedar Crest, at that intersection before it goes down to the right, they meet. They let Karen Reed go first. They fall behind in the truck. Now, at this point, Mr. O'Keefe has about 8 more minutes before the beginning of the end of his life. And he's in that car.
Why would she pull up to the fucking flagpole and go around what they claim Higgins' truck was there? Some of them do, some of them don't. Okay. Why would they do that? Why would she drop him off for the flagpole? But go ahead.
He's in that car for most of it because Ms. Mason and Mr. Nagel don't see anybody get out of the truck. Nobody crosses the lawn. Nobody goes to a garage. Not just because they didn't see it. They didn't. Not because they didn't see it. Because the healthcare data on the phone shows that John O'Keefe is not moving. The car is stopped at the flagpole. The healthcare data stops. The battery stays at 77 degrees. The data is the data. You can't change it as much as you want to. It's data. And they sit at that flagpole for minutes. It's 12, 24, 33 when they get there. They're there past 12:30. Remember, Ms. Mason and Ms. Nagel said they're about 5
Maxon,
minutes.
Miss Maxon.
It's not exact, but about 5 minutes, they said. So there's about 2 minutes left for John O'Keefe. And what are they doing in those 2 minutes? What are the last 2 minutes of his life that he can remember that would be open to him? They're arguing. They're arguing. They're arguing. And we know they're arguing because Ms. Reed tells us through first responder Becker. She was sad. Remember, he sees her in the back of the ambulance and he's trying to calm her down? She was sad because her last moments were arguing. They're in an argument. That's why they're not going in the house. But John O'Keefe decides to get out of the car, and we know because the dome light goes on. That's what happens when you open a door. Whether he's bent down, he's standing outside, or on the other side, the dome light is on. And then you see the data. John,
wait, he's bent down. So this is how he's explaining why Ryan Nagel. We finally have an answer. We finally have an answer for why Ryan Nagel had the accident and Ricky D'Antano, who he did not call, did not see John O'Keefe. It's this.
Oh, remember, he sees her in the back of the ambulance and he's trying to calm her down. She was sad because her last moments were arguing. They're in an argument. That's why they're not going in the house. But John O'Keefe decides to get out of the car, and we know because the dome light goes on. That's what happens when you open a door. Whether he's bent down, he's standing outside, or on the other side, the dome light is on.
Whether he's standing outside, but Ryan Nagel testified that he wasn't. He wasn't. So he was bending down. This is the new story that they're going with. And they call us conspiracy theorists. This dude was bending down. That's so he wasn't in the car. At least they're saying that. He's agreeing with that. He was hiding. He was just in a hiding spot.
And then you see the data. John O'Keefe begins to move. 12/31/56. It's the first time he has moved since they got to the flagpole, and it will be the last time he moves in his life. And he moves in 20 seconds. Ian Whiffen said that the satellites, they move, they reconnect, they pull information. He's no longer on high frequency data because waves are shut off. Now it's more random, it's low frequency. We would never suggest, and Mr. Whiffen did not claim, based on location data alone at that point, you can tell exactly where John O'Keefe is. What he said is it was reading all night. The bullet is always near the flagpole. That doesn't mean he's always near the flagpole. He could have moved. He could have moved in the circles and come back. Location data is consistent with him never leaving the flagpole. That in itself is not enough. But there's more. There is more. There is the healthcare data. There is the temperature of the cell phone battery. And so he moves to 20 seconds. It turns west. It does not say he walks to the house. That's not what the data says. It doesn't say that he goes straight line and he walks over to the door. In fact, could he even get to the door from 75 feet? Could he get there? Because when the investigator for the defense testified, he measures from the driveway. He never stops at the driveway. He never measures from the flagpole. He never measures from the flagpole to the garage door. So this fantasy that somehow he walked in the garage, even though there's no evidence, there's no way.
It's common sense, motherfucker. Why is he going to walk from the flagpole? Why would anybody drop him off the fucking flagpole? It makes no sense, dipshit.
There's no data.
20
seconds of his life, and he moves.
This is gaslighting.
Registers the steps. It could be pacing.
Nobody
it could
knows.
Be a straight line. It could be shaking the phone. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know everything. We don't know every little detail in every little second. We don't have to. That's not doubt. That's not reasonable doubt. We know for that 20 seconds he's moving, and in that 20-second window, when he moves, he has his phone. And he looks down. 12:32:09. He sees a text message from his friend, John McCabe. And he looks at the text message and he closes it. And then it happens. We know from the uncontroverted data from that black box, we know that Karen Reed, after he gets out of the car, drives away. She drives for at least 33 feet away from him. He's back near the flagpole. She's gone. It's over. Whatever argument is over. Whatever anger and flame has been dispassion, she's moved on.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. So she dropped John off. The fight is over. She moves up 33 feet in front of the Asian house. And so John just goes in now, right? Because John's like, okay, fight's over. It's a fucking blizzard. I'm going in, right? That's cool. Cool. Problem solved, right?
He's separate from her. He's safe. And then she makes a decision. That's what this case is about. Then
what decision?
She makes a decision. She could have driven home.
Yep.
She could have broken up with him.
Yep.
They could have talked about it the next day.
Yep.
But like knocking on the door, like Kaylee said, getting the last word, she doesn't drive away.
Ooh.
She takes that 6,000-pound Lexus.
Ooh.
And she makes a decision. And the decision is that she steps on the gas.
Yep. Okay.
Banging it into reverse.
Not even Peggy can fake cry over this one. You know what I mean? This is just such fantasy. And John, by the way, John also makes a decision to fucking cosplay as a fucking hitchhiker. John also makes a decision. You know what I'm going to do right now? My crazy girlfriend, I finally got away from her. I could go in the house over. It's goddamn mad brick out here. I go in the house right now. Or I got a better idea. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stick my fucking arm out in the road. Fuck it. While holding my cocktail glass. I'm going to stick my fucking arm out and see if she can hit that mofo like a goddamn piñata. Right? Let's just see. You can't, bitch, you can't hit my arm. Look at my arm. Nana poo poo. You can't hit me. You can't hit my arm. And she's like, oh, really, motherfucker? Really? 75% in this mofo. I'm going to hit. And then boom. And she goes, strike one, motherfucker. What? You thought I couldn't hit your arm? I hit that bitch. I can't even with these people. How stupid do you have to be to believe this shit? He's just, I'm going to stand right here. And you, bitch, you want to hit me? Come hit me. No. I mean, does he not hear himself? How stupid. If the fight was over, why didn't John go inside? I can't even.
Before we talk about what happens next, I want to talk to you a little bit about the charges in this case.
Okay, let's do it.
Digress, but it's important so we really understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, you
here.
really hate to digress,
I have
right?
no authority to talk about the law in this case. The Honorable Judge Kearney.
The law.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the charges. Don't rely on my interpretation of the law. It's the judge who has that special power. But I want to explain to you a couple things so when you think about what happens next, you can really assess the facts of this case with the charges against Ms. Reed. She is charged with second-degree murder. It sounds ominous, it is. It's a serious charge, second-degree murder. When most people think murder, they think shooting or stabbing somebody. It's natural to think that. Second-degree murder is different. It's not first-degree murder. I told you at the beginning of this case, I told you that we were not going to suggest or try to prove that Ms. Reed intended to kill John O'Keefe. That was never part of this case. We're not claiming that. I told you that we were not ever going to try to prove that she even intended to hit him. We never suggested we would try to prove that, and we're not trying to prove that she intended to hit him. We're not. What we are obligated to prove and what we have proven from the evidence in this case of second-degree murder is that she intended an act, and that is putting the car into reverse and heading back towards John O'Keefe. She intended that act. The question then becomes, did her conduct create a clear, plain, strong likelihood of death? Late at night, dark, beginning to snow, under the influence of alcohol, knowing where she stopped and left him after an argument, heading back in reverse to the exact spot or right near where she left him at over 24 miles per hour, accelerating at over 75%. You need to ask yourself, are you convinced if somebody does that create a plain and strong likelihood of death? And if there's no doubt in your mind that she intended to hit that accelerator in reverse, and if that conduct will create a clear and plain likelihood of death, then she's guilty of that crime. Whatever the label is, she will be guilty of that crime. Now think about this.
Okay, so this is all a very interesting fantasy story you're telling us here. The problem is we are now, 26 minutes into this, and you haven't done anything to explain the science and the physics of how you know he was hit by a car. That's kind of the important part, because the defense dropped some bombs on you, and we're like, yo, this dude didn't get hit by a car, and here's the physics and how we know he wasn't hit by a car. So this is a really interesting story you're telling, but it appears to be a fantasy. So what up with that?
Let me give you an analogy.
Okay. Give us
somebody.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
He's on a bridge.
Here we go.
Cars going by, and they have a boulder, and they want to throw the boulder off. They're not looking to hurt anybody. They're not meaning to kill anybody, but they.
Okay. Stop right there. The kid with the boulder who throws it off the fucking bridge didn't mean to hurt anybody. Then why the fuck is he throwing a boulder off a bridge? For what reason? Why the fuck is he throwing a boulder off a bridge if not to hurt somebody? The fuck do you think the boulder is going to do? This is the stupidest analogy I've ever heard. Who throws a boulder off a bridge and doesn't want to hurt someone? What do they think is going to fucking happen? This is the dumbest fucking analogy.
Throw the boulder off the bridge because they want to see the car break, the thrill. And when they throw that boulder off the bridge and it comes down and lands on the car, and there's somebody, passenger, anybody in that car, and it then goes through the roof and kills the person in the car, did they intend to kill that person? No, they were trying to have a thrill throwing the rock.
They didn't intend to kill that person, but they intended to kill someone. They just threw it off and said, whatever, roll the dice. Who's going to get a hit? Like, what? Of course you intended to hurt someone. But also Karen Reed didn't hit John O'Keefe with a car because the science says so.
The malice to want that person dead? No, it didn't. But that would be an example of second-degree murder. When you take a boulder and throw it off a bridge, there's a plain and strong likelihood of death. When Karen Reed, in the midst of that tension and fight, after she drove away and was gone, disengaged, when she came back for the last word, in the darkness, the beginning of the snow, under the influence of alcohol, and decided to stop her Lexus, decided to put it in reverse, decided to accelerate 75% in the exact same direction of where she left him, and then hit him, and he died. I suggest to you that is.
Imagine sitting there knowing you didn't do this, and this guy is just making some shit up about you, and you have to be silent and just listen to this guy make shit up about you. How fucking hard is that? That's got to be the hardest thing.
Second-degree murder. The other charge, operating under the influence of alcohol, manslaughter. It's different. It's a totally different.
Oh,
separate
God.
charge. Was she under the influence of alcohol? And then secondly, did she operate her Lexus wantonly and recklessly in a way that would very likely result in serious injury? When you're under the influence of alcohol and you drive a 6,000-pound Lexus in the heat of the moment at the direction of where somebody is, whether you intend to hit them or not, I submit to you that is wanton. It is reckless. And any reasonable person would think it's very likely that serious injury would result. It's not a matter of intending to kill. It's not a matter of intending to hit. It is the conduct of the operation and the risk that is created.
Okay.
So,
Again, this all comes back to, none of this matters. If he wasn't hit by a car, her intention doesn't matter because he wasn't hit by a car. Like, none of this matters. We're half an hour into this and he's done nothing to explain why Dr. 𝗲𝗄𝗧𝗧 is wrong, why Dr. Rentschler is wrong, why Dr. Wolf is wrong. He's done nothing to explain it. Nothing.
Those two charges, we know from the tech stream data that she drove 33 feet at least.
Okay, yeah,
80
okay.
feet, over 80 feet.
Yeah.
And we know it could have been 2 seconds after. It could have been 4 seconds after. But it's in that pocket of time, and we know
The data.
You reconcile the data
Yeah.
with the phone.
The data. Yeah.
At
The
20
data.
seconds
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
in the same window.
Okay,
of
yeah.
that 10-second window coming back.
Okay.
A couple seconds later, 4 seconds later, whatever the sort of watch.
Okay, but again, nobody gives a shit about the data. Yeah, you said the data. We got the data. What about the fact that the defense said that had a whole bunch of witnesses who were like doctors and shit, like wicked smart, and they were like, "Yo, this guy wasn't hit by a car." What up with that? Like, what are we gonna do to reconcile that, Spanky? Oh, the data. Okay, cool, data. But what about physics? What about that?
He stops moving. 𝗀𝗄𝗃 stops moving. Forever. Next slide 6, please.
Okay.
You will see speed, 24 miles per hour backwards.
Okay, yeah.
You will see distance.
Yeah,
over 80
distance.
feet.
Yeah, data. Yeah.
That's obvious. Likely to create a plain and strong likelihood of death.
Oh yeah, data.
There's nothing about that data.
Yeah,
It's uncertain.
data.
We don't know if he went in the air foot. We don't know if it was how much of a clip it was. We don't know if he stumbled back, but we know.
Listen to this.
Reed hits 𝗺𝗄𝗃, collides with the thing about that data that is uncertain.
Nothing. Okay.
Say that down, please. When Miss Reed hits 𝗺𝗄𝗃,
When?
collides with 𝗺𝗄𝗃.
So when Miss Reed hits 𝗺𝗄𝗃, the problem is you haven't done anything to combat this whole thing about this elephant in the room where that woman, the Dr. 𝗲𝗄𝗧𝗧, said over and over again she didn't hit John. So what are we doing with that, Spanky? Besides just saying the data.
We don't know if he went in the air foot. We don't know if it was how much of a clip it was. We don't know if he stumbled back, but we know there's a collision. There's no doubt there's a collision because
there's no doubt. Why is there no doubt there's a collision when several people testified that there was no collision? Like how is there just, so there's just no doubt? It seems as if there was doubt. Not only was there doubt, it's like kind of like proof there wasn't a collision, but the data. Okay.
Her tail light's all over the yard. It's all over the yard. And when he falls back, he hits the back of his head, his basal fracture. He's then lying there helpless. When Miss Reed leaves, she leaves behind tons of her tail light all over the yard. It's called the debris field. And you've seen videos. You can't replicate the exact contact. You can't because you need where the person was hit, how fast the person was going, but you know what happened because when you look at the debris field, when a light is broken, it's no different than what was on the front yard. It's no different.
What?
She leaves him behind. She leaves her taillight behind. She goes home. And on her way home, she's still angry. She's still angry because she starts leaving him voicemails. Slide 7, please. Healthcare starts at 12:31:56. 12:32:04 to 12:32:12 is the data, which is adjusted.
Okay, yeah.
Move a little bit 2 or 3 seconds, they can move it 4 seconds, 5
Yeah,
seconds. It doesn't.
the data. Yeah.
Play that, please.
Okay. Oh wow! Look at that, like a slingshot.
Each one of those pegs represents 10 feet. You can't place that car where it was in front of Fairview. You just can't. The data doesn't tell you that, but that tells you the movements of that car.
So he
Now, as John O'Keefe,
he just said you can't place that car in front of Fairview. You can't. Oh, okay.
sadly lays on the ground, abandoned, you're gonna have to ask yourself a question for charge number 3, leaving scene, knowing somebody was injured and then died. You're gonna have to ask yourself, is there evidence that Ms. Reed knew that she had hit him? Don't need to prove it for murder 2. Don't need to prove it for OUI manslaughter. But for the 3rd charge, Commonwealth has to prove beyond reasonable doubt she knew she hit him. We weren't there, but there was an eyewitness. There was a guide. And that eyewitness tells us that she knew. And that eyewitness
It's Karen
It's Karen
Reed.
Reed's
Yeah.
wife.
Okay. Yeah. All
She
right.
tells you that she knew. We have slide 8, please.
Could I have hit him? Did I hit him? I don't know what that could have been. It was calmly wind. I had YouTube running on stereo. And I thought, did he somehow try to flag me down, which was the reaction I was hoping to garner as I slowly pulled away from the house? Did he come up and maybe trip or bend over to pick up his cell phone and I bent over his foot and he passed out drunk? I mean, I didn't think I hit him, but could I clipped him?
So again, we've been over this a million times before. She's explaining her thought process. That's like how confused she was. Like, could I have hit him? Did I hit him? Like, that's her thought process this morning because she didn't think that he went in the house and got beat up because who the fuck would do something so horrible and inhumane? She didn't think that there was that much evil in this world surrounding her, but clearly there was. So she's explaining that, and everybody knows that. And most importantly, does anybody in their right mind think that Karen Reed would hire 3 defense attorneys, put on a third-party culprit defense, blame other people for doing this, and then say, fuck all you guys and fuck all this time we've invested in this defense. I'm going to go on Dateline and confess. You have to be retarded to believe that that's what she was doing, is confessing. Oh my God, these people are so stupid.
When she left Fairview and left John behind, she didn't think he was mortally wounded. But she knew she hit him. She knew she hit him. And so when she made her way back home, not only did she leave the debris field all over the front lawn, but she took evidence with her too. Hair, DNA on the taillight, and she drove back to John's house. And she started calling on the way back, 12:33, just a minute and a half later. And then her messages show her anger. You see, this was John's fault. This was John's fault.
Yeah.
And her phone calls tell you about the tone and the destruction of that relationship. 53 phone calls that night. 53 phone calls. Not one to 911. Not one to Jen McCabe, please go outside and try to help.
First of all, she didn't have Jen McCabe's phone number. Why would she call Jen McCabe and say, go outside and help? She doesn't fucking... What's she going to do? She's going to call John. That's the only one. It's the only person whose phone number she has. And she's pissed at John. And why would she call 911? What the fuck would 911 say? Hey, my boyfriend hasn't come home. Oh, yeah. He's getting a blowjob from Ashley Brady, Bella's mom, as a matter of fact. She's known as. Yeah, she's sucking his dick real good right now. I hate to break it to you. He's not actually, come on. He's not dead, obviously. He's not answering. I hate to break it to you, honey, but he's fucking someone else. That's what 911 would tell you. Like, this isn't an emergency. Your boyfriend fucking someone else is not something we can help you with, dear. I hate to break it to you. He's getting a blowjob from the town whore, Ashley Brady. So good luck with that. Maybe you should date someone else. I don't know.
One to a hospital. Not one to anybody but him. 53.
Oh, God.
Slide 12, please. You play voice no weapons?
Yep. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Heard that one.
The calls keep coming. Cell phone temperature, 72 degrees. He's been outside now, not moving, on that cold, hard ground with his cell phone.
Cold, hard
under
ground.
him.
Ooh.
The warmth of his body, the cold ground, 72 degrees. It tells you the story. As this temperature plummets and that cell phone, the battery is compromised, so is John O'Keefe. And him and his cell phone alone on that yacht. 66 degrees at 12:45. It is plummeting. Ian Whippen's taking a phone and putting it in a freezer, not a same analogy. The idea that means that John O'Keefe was in the house, absurd. 66 turns to 61 is 12:53. 48 unanswered calls from the defendant. He's not in a party. He's not wrestling with Brian Higgins. He's not in a fight. If he's in a fight, the cell phone would be moving. There'd be healthcare data. There'd be steps.
Oh, no. He was dead by then, motherfucker. Like, they knocked his ass out real quick.
If he got into the house in 20 seconds and his cell phone is found under his body the next day, and how would he get back outside? There would be more steps because his phone is working. The data is the data. There's nothing wrong with it. It's registering everything.
a Faraday bag, airplane mode. You know, you're with murder police, by the way. And by the way, they activated his phone after he'd allegedly been hit. Apparently, these motherfuckers took his fucking face and used the face fucking thing to open his fucking phone. Sick fucks. Jesus Christ.
Temperature, the movement. He doesn't go in any house. He can't go in any house. His phone never moves again. Voicemail number 3, please. Listen to this.
Yeah.
John, I'm here with a fucking kid. Nobody knows what the fuck you want, fucking pervert.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard
Nobody knows where you are. It is 12:59. John O'Keefe has been on that lawn for about 27 minutes. She hasn't called.
Like, nobody knows where you are, aka who are you fucking and where are you, motherfucker? When I see you next time, and I am going to see you because you're alive, I am going to ream your ass out. Just know that. And then we're going to have the fucking hottest makeup sex you've ever fucking had. Ever.
Anybody else, hasn't spoken, has no information. Nobody's called her. You'll see her phone records. And she says, nobody knows where you are. She knows.
Oh, she knows.
Nobody does know where he is. Except her.
Oh, right.
Except her.
Yeah, right.
Why
right.
is she asking nobody knows who you are? She is starting to get panicked because she knows she hit him. Not suggesting she meant to kill him or for him to die, but she knows she hit him, and now he's not responding, and she's getting nervous, and she's getting.
And he's not responding. I thought, what is she nervous about? She just killed him, didn't she? What is she nervous about? Nothing about those voicemails sounds nervous. Nothing about those. Those sound angry.
Getting anxious, and she's getting call after call after call.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
not answering. He's not calling back. He's not even picking up the phone, and we know what's happening at this point. Panic, drunken denial. It's setting in, and so then we see the healthcare data from Miss Reed's phone. She doesn't move after a little after 1 o'clock. She could be sitting. She could have fallen asleep, but she doesn't move for a while. But she wakes up. She wakes up early the next morning. You can take that down, please. And when she wakes up, she doesn't call Jen McCabe and say, "Where's John?" She doesn't call Brian Higgins. Has his number. Has been texting with him. "Hey, was John at a party with you? Did you see John tonight?" She knows exactly where she is, and she's frantic. So she wakes up Kaylee, that young girl at the time, and she says she's panicked. She can't understand what she's saying. "Call Jen McCabe. Call Jen McCabe." Why is she calling Jen McCabe? She calls Jen McCabe. You know what she doesn't say when she calls Jen McCabe? "When did he leave the house? What happened last night?" No. She calls and says, "I left him at the waterfall. I left him at the waterfall." See, now it's gone from panic to self-preservation. "I left him at the waterfall." And Jen says, "Left him at the waterfall? He saw you in front of the house." But hangs up. Hangs up. So then she calls someone that she doesn't know very well. She calls Kerry Roberts. But now she has to pivot because someone has seen her in the exact spot that John will be found soon. Whether she's the first one there or somebody else, John will be found. Maybe Lucky missed him. It's a snowstorm. You can't see, but someone's going to find him at some point. So she calls Kerry Roberts. It's no longer she left him at the waterfall. She pivots. And she calls Kerry. John's dead. I think he got hit by a plow. Why do you think she chose those words? Why did she choose those words? Because she knew that there was a collision with a large motor vehicle, and she had to substitute her 6,000-pound Lexus for another big vehicle. I think he got hit by a plow. And so now we have the introduction of Jen McCabe and Kerry Roberts. Phone calls that they probably never, ever wanted. A worse nightmare to get a call like that for what's going to happen, what they're going to see, what they'll never be able to forget. But because the defendant is John O'Keefe's girlfriend, they wake up in the middle of the night in a blizzard out of their kindness, their loyalty, their devotion to John O'Keefe. And when she calls them and tells them that she wants them to come out, this soccer mom with a perfectly normal life gets drawn into this whole farce, and she answers that call. She gets out of bed. The spirit and kindness she displays to put herself in that position because someone asked for help, because that's what good people do. Kerry Roberts didn't know Jen McCabe. They both knew John. They met each other once years before. Kerry Roberts separately at that time answers the call, gets out of bed, drives to go help because they have a common denominator, a common bond, John O'Keefe. And so you hear and see at 5:07 the defendant.
All right. So, hold on. I just had to run out there real quick. Hold on. There. All right. Hold on. All right. So stop right there. So a couple things there. The whole thing about Lucky, maybe Lucky missed him. That's all. That was his entire rebuttal to Lucky's testimony. Was maybe Lucky missed him. That's it. Lucky's amazing testimony was just like, well, maybe he missed him. That's it. That was all that's how I'll explain Lucky. Maybe Lucky missed him. Mr. God forbid any animals says maybe Lucky missed him. And then Jen McCabe, the soccer mom, which you guys know by now, is code for white women from the suburbs don't murder. Notice it's like he doesn't say basketball mom or like it's soccer mom. White people sports. That's what he's saying right there. White women from the suburbs don't murder unless they're a financial analyst from Fidelity, in that case that they do. And she's a bad person. And the fact that he turned Jen McCabe into the fucking hero is just wild. Just absolutely wild. She's like a hero.
Leaves Meadows. She leaves. And Kaylee is behind waiting. And you see her back up, and Judd Welch just showed you all of those demonstrations. Where you can see
Judd did
the unsettled snow in the back, and after the bump, you can see the pieces missing. No taillight. There's no taillight on the ground, all the white snow. There's no crack, there's no break. It's a nudge. It's a nudge. In fact, the taillight has already been broken because when you look at the video, not one little piece, it's still framed, little angle with the light, the brakes on. You take a look, you'll be able to slow it down. You'll see the exact same piece is missing because it's back at Fairview. That's why it's missing. It's not there. It's back at Fairview. And then she leaves at 5:07. She gets to Jen McCabe's about 5:35, 28 minutes. It's about a 10-minute ride. Where did she go in 28 minutes?
Here we go.
Where did she go? We don't know. We don't have data for that. But we know when she gets to Jen McCabe's house, she is panicked, frantic.
He's once again insinuating that Karen went back to the scene. He knows this is a lie. He knows that the police have gone to a bunch of homes on Dedham Street. Like they went to Ashley Bell's house and they asked to look at ring camera footage from her house. They looked at a bunch of homes that would have taken Karen Read back to 34 Fairview. That would have anything on the way back to 34 Fairview. They got surveillance of. Karen does not go back to 34 Fairview between 5:18 when she's seen at the temple and 5:35 when she goes to Jen McCabe's house. Okay. She actually goes to the cemetery. She pulls into the cemetery and Googles whatever that neighborhood that Kerry Roberts and Jen McCabe in, and Googles it. They know that because they have her phone. They know that. He knows what she Googles at that point. And she doesn't, because she doesn't know where Jen McCabe lives. And she's looking for the fucking street. And she's not from this town. And she's, shell-shocked and is a blizzard. And she's a woman and she's not from that town. And she doesn't know how to fucking get there. So that's where she is. Mystery solved, motherfucker.
Out of her mind, screaming, waking everybody up. Jen McCabe comes down. Can't understand her. Going up to the car to try to console her. Why is she so frantic? Why can't she speak? Why can't she say a word? Because John went out and had a drink and fell asleep on a couch? Because John would maybe be cheating on her? What is causing this extraordinary duress? Did she stop somewhere on the way by?
Did she stop somewhere?
Did she just see death?
A lie. What a liar.
Kerry Roberts comes. Take charge.
Oh my God. Take charge kind of person.
She sees the broken taillight in Jen McCabe's driveway, and she decides she's going to commandeer this. We're going to the back to Meadows. You're going to follow me. Leave the car. I'll drive. At this point, Jen and Kerry don't know each other. They've only met once. And they go back to Meadows. They obviously don't find John because he's back at 34 Fairview. And then they start their way towards 34 Fairview. They start driving towards 34 Fairview, and they're looking. And you heard from Kerry Roberts, Jen McCabe. They're looking out the window. They can't see anything. The snow, the blizzard, the weather, the darkness. They can't see anything. And they're driving, and they decide to go back to 34 Fairview. And this is remarkable. This is remarkable. When they start their way past towards 34 Fairview, they get close. And when they get close, they can see nothing. But the defendant screams, "Stop, let me out." And they look around and they say, "What? Let me out, let me out." She does not see John O'Keefe. She knows where he is. She knows exactly where he is. She knows where to find him. She knows where to expect to find him because she knows where she left him. She told us. Slide 13, please.
Charlie and Jen's in the passenger seat. And I've described this to everyone, so you probably heard this before, but John was like a buffalo on the prairie.
Oh God, the buffalo on the prairie.
That it wasn't a bush or a hydrant or a dog. It was a weird shaped lump at that time in those elements. And I was looking to find him on the side of the road. I was expecting I'd find him.
Thank you. A weird shaped lump in a blizzard, and you equate that to John O'Keefe. A weird shaped lump, not like a bush, and that is John O'Keefe.
I mean, this is all they have is like pearl clutching that she used a fucking analogy of a buffalo on a prairie. Like, oh my God. Yeah, she's described. Would you prefer a black blob, sir? Would you prefer a black blob? Because that's what Julie Nagel called him when she pretended to see his body there in lunch. She called it a black blob. But a buffalo on a prairie, he's like clutching his pearls about this buffalo. Oh my God, a buffalo on a prairie. He's not a buffalo. He's a person. He's a person. How dare you use that? Now I'm going to use an analogy about a kid throwing a fucking boulder off a bridge, but how dare you use an analogy? Oh no, analogies are bad.
She tells us she knows where she left John O'Keefe. And so they go over to Mr. O'Keefe, Kerry, and Karen. And she's upset, there's no doubt. I am not for a second trying to deprive her of the unrest and the trauma that is happening at this scene. Doesn't change what happened before, but I appreciate the trauma. And they're trying to help him. Guess what happens when they first move him around 603, 604? Ian Whiffen, data. The cell phone battery gets the cool air, presses on the battery, the cell phone battery drops. Healthcare data, he has not moved since that 22nd, hasn't moved. They start shaking him. You're going to see, when you look at the records, that healthcare data starts to move. He's been there all night.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. There's still no collision.
She says something that is remarkable. She says, there's a piece of glass stuck in his nose. And she plucks it out. And she says when she plucks it out, blood spurts out. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. Remember that. Piece of glass, pulls it out, blood spurts out. That's what she says. As they try to help John, Jen is calling 911. They would like you to believe there's a conspiracy. That the glass that's found in Mr. O'Keefe's body is somehow from inside the Albert house. The glass, well, you will hear in the clips. If we don't play it, we'll have all the clip with you. She talks about the fact that he took her glass. He took the glass. She says it. So the Albert house, they don't need to get the glass. He already has the glass with the straw that's later found on the street, by the way. That's what happens on an impact.
Blah, blah, blah. We're like 50 minutes into this. Bro, are you going to talk about why Dr. 𝗲𝗂𝗧 is wrong? Or Dr. Rentschler's wrong? Are you going to talk about that? Nope. We still got to get to the ham sandwich, though. Oh, boy.
Lands near his body. The field moves past him. Shoe, hat, straw. Jen McKay makes a call to her sister, and they say because it registered 29 seconds, a cell record is not the same as a call detail record. There's no evidence there was a conversation. No lights go on. There's no conspiracy. You can call somebody. It can ring. It can go to voicemail. They have no evidence, none, that there's a conversation between Jen McKay, the person who was ripped out of her sleep to come help, and her sister for some grand conspiracy. And so what happens next is traumatic.
They have nothing, besides a Celebrate report that shows that they talked for 23 seconds. Besides that, they have virtually nothing. Like, okay, something and it says deleted, by the way. But, Jessica Hyde, do-rag lady says that they automatically delete. That's fucking crazy to me. I guess my phone calls just automatically delete and everything just deletes when I have 200 plus whatever. And luckily it happened as fate would have it. The 200th phone call happened right at that, 200 phone calls after. It's just fucking, you have to be retarded. I can't believe this shit. I can't believe this. We're still doing this.
And Jen McKay see their best friend prone, lifeless, frozen on the ground. And they're living this torment because somebody brought them into this. When they're trying to help John, there was not one suggestion from anybody that John ever went into that house. There's no reason to go into that house because John was never in the house. Not one time has anybody said, what time did he leave? I thought he went in there. Not even a whisper of it because it never, ever happened.
Why?
When they find their friend John, he's not 20 feet off the side of the road like Mr. Rentschler or Mr. Wolf thinks. He's right there by the side of the road, close by the curb. Can we have slide 14, please? You can see there's Kerry Roberts' vehicle, and then on the left, you can see where they're working. Right off the road, that's not 20 feet. That is a cliff, a stubble, and a fall. Remember when he fell, it wasn't snow, it was just the beginning of dusting. It was the cold, hard ground. Remember what Dr. Isaac Wolf told us about cold, hard ground?
What the fuck did that just prove?
All the time.
What did that just prove?
If we could go to slide 16, please. Remember the glass in the nose? The glass in the nose?
What about it?
See on the bottom left, that's where the Kansas Police Department found the glass. That he took from the car, from the waterfall. And then Exhibit 195, matching glass. On February 3rd, the matching piece of glass was found on the street. The matching piece of glass, the glass that was found with Mr. O'Keefe, was found on the street. He didn't fall back 8-10 feet from the road. It broke, and then it shattered and went to the street. I would suggest to you it broke at the time of the collision, and he carried the glass with him, leaving the evidence behind.
The glass didn't match anything. Exactly.
Remember the straw I asked you to take a look at that picture, leaving the waterfall 12-12, the black straw in the drink on the street. Collision, glass, nose, straw, back into his head.
What?
You play
Yeah.
169.
Like a splinter would be. And it just
Okay, yeah.
Situation. And when 911 comes, we have first responders. These people are heroes. Some of them,
Heroes,
some of them,
right.
They were born to help people. That's
Ah,
what their
born,
life is about.
yes.
The detail on all their mechanics. They knew getting to work 2 hours early below the blizzard so they get there on time.
The legend of Timothy Nuttall.
So you can help people. These are the core of our community. Mr. Nuttall.
Oh, yes.
This is what he does. He rushes.
Fucking
to go
legend.
help. He's
Legend.
the first person on his knees. He doesn't know this
Legend.
person from anybody. But to him, it's another human being. This is his passion. Katie McLaughlin, first responder. This is not just a profession, it's her life. Yes, she knows Caitlin Albert. Do you think she went there that night at a party and set up a murder and came back? And so they tell you what happens at the scene.
Yeah, she
some
knows
things,
Caitlin
hard to
Albert.
remember, some things people will never forget. When you're in a traumatic incident, sometimes it's something you'll never, ever forget.
Something you'll never, ever forget. He literally admitted that he forgot so much shit. Remember how many lies Nuttall got caught in about things he forgot? And then he said his memory got back. Like, what? He's like king of forgetting. He was confronted with video of when he claims Karen Reed said, I hit him, and he was nowhere near there. Like, oh, I can't even.
And Timothy Nuttall remembers speaking to the defendant. I hit him. Remember, he's on his knees. What happened? I hit him. She is now coming to terms with the moment. Her fear is realized. She hit him. She clipped him. She didn't think he was mortally wounded. She panicked. She can't come to terms with it, so she has to bring people with her to face it. And now she's facing the reality of what she had done. And her emotion is overwhelming. I hit him. She speaks to Miss McLaughlin. I hit him. Not did I hit him? Could I hit him? Perhaps I hit him. That was earlier. Now she's recognizing what she did. I hit him.
Right. Of course, it's not in any police reports, and which is why he didn't call any of the police officers or the 4 firefighters who said that she didn't say that. I mean, this is criminal what he's doing.
People are making it up. Anybody that says anything adverse or inconsistent or inconvenient is a liar or a perjurer or in on a conspiracy.
Yes.
Or is it that these good people who went there for a total stranger to do their duty to help happen to remember that she admitted what she had done? I know that doesn't reconcile with the boogeyman Proctor and the bad government. I know it doesn't reconcile with no DNA on this piece or that piece. I know it doesn't reconcile with everybody setting up the girl.
Yeah.
I know that doesn't reconcile. But the reality is you have independent core people who hear her say, I hit him.
So what? Like that didn't happen.
To portray everybody as a liar. But you don't have to rely just on these good people. Although you should. You don't have to, because we have a guy, and it's Karen Reed. Slide 17. She told you herself.
Yeah,
she endorses those good people, exactly and twisted, but it rises. It rises. And it is not a coincidence. There's no coincidence that Mr. Nuttall and Miss McLaughlin hear exactly that.
There's no coincidence that Mr. Nuttall and Miss McLaughlin hear exactly that, except they don't interview Mr. Nuttall until 2 weeks after they interview McLaughlin, and he testifies that it's the talk of the firehouse, and Karen Reed's already been arrested by then, so of course she did it, and blah, 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 blah. Like, and by the way, there is contradictions with the other firefighters and the other police, all of who claim that Karen Reed never said that. But besides that, you called 2 fucking witnesses and excluded everyone else. But that's a great fucking point, Spanky.
She tells you. And Jen McCabe, when she's sitting next to or standing next to Miss McLaughlin, she tells you that she saw or heard the same thing. Remember what happened to her in the stand when she had the audacity to say, I heard her say it? What happened to her? This woman who never even wanted to leave her home that day, pulled out into a storm to see her best friend dead.
Best friend.
What happened when she had the audacity to say that?
Best friend, who she described as a man in the snow to 911. Her best friend. The best. I mean, this is insane. He's a best friend now. He's a best friends. Oh, okay.
And now we know that the defendant herself said the same thing. And the funny thing, ironic thing is, you will see in a photo when Miss McLaughlin, firefighter, was speaking to the defendant, Miss McCabe was next to her. Miss McCabe was trying to protect her, trying to shut her up. Don't talk. You're upset. Stop saying crazy things.
What?
The villain of the story was trying to help the defendant from incriminating herself.
What?
The irony. We have slide 9, please. 82 degrees, 12:22 in the car, 77 degrees, 12:37. About 3.5 minutes after the defendant collides with John O'Keefe, it started to go down 72, 12:45, 66, 12:53, 61, and you see it drop and steady off at 1:36. Remember, cell phone battery under.
Yeah. So why doesn't it go below? Why doesn't it reach the temperature of outside? Why does it suddenly stop falling, Spanky, in a fucking blizzard?
John O'Keefe either struggled for life, goes past, and the blood's still warm either way under him. Doesn't move again until 6:06, it dropped down 7 degrees because the women are pulling on him, the cold air is hitting the battery. What happens at 6:15? You're going to see the video. You've seen it. Still photos. Kerry Roberts goes over, takes up the phone. Not only does she pick up the phone, she puts it in her pocket, and then 20 minutes later, the next meeting, the temperature rises. That's not convenient. That's not convenient. That's fact. That's data. And then the phone is passed, but the warm environment, and it raises up. 6:15. How can someone conspire to pick up a phone on the side of the yard that's under Mr. O'Keefe's body at 6:15 and know the battery temperature was then going to rise? Not only did the battery temperature rise, when you look at the healthcare data, at 6:15 when she picks up the phone, you know what happens to the healthcare data, right? It starts to move. It's data. It's data. So, while they're going through this duress, the defendant asked Jen McCabe for yet another favor. Look up hypothermia.
Oh my
Find out how long
God.
it takes to
Oh
die in a
my
cold.
God.
And there's Ms. McCabe in her winter jacket, soccer mom, trying to help.
Soccer
She has
mom.
MS, her hands aren't working. She's trying to type in what's happening during that time. It's a frantic scene. She tells you that the defendant then wants to run back to the ambulance, so she goes with her, never finishes or completes the input. And then she tries it again at 6:23, at 6:24. That's what this woman did that night, that morning. Not only for her friend, for her. For her. That's what she did. And what happens to her after? Because the timestamp, when you open the timestamp, it's at the time it's open, and she's in bed at 2:27 looking up Hawkmock Sports because she is so interested in the kids' sports, and that timestamp stays open. And she goes to that tab the next morning when she puts in how long to die in cold. And that's being portrayed. That she's
Imagine
a conspiracy.
believing this. Imagine believing any of this. This is so
She gets
retarded.
vilified as a murderer.
Yeah,
Soccer mom.
because she.
It
Oh,
means that-
soccer mom. Soccer mom.
It
Oh
took
no.
Ian within 5 minutes to show you a live demonstration on how simple that works. That she's not deleting anything. Just I told you, it's automatic deletions over time. You usually can't delete that information. That's not a click and swipe like the good Dr. Wolf Marker knows how to do. This can't be erased. But they still hold on to this. As they argue to you and all the injustices that have been done, they tell you, they want you to believe, or take a flyer on the fact that she looked up how long to die in the cold at 2:27. It is an absolute contrary to the science.
Soccer mom.
There's no basis to support it, but they stand here in front of you. Why? Because every time they say something like that, you look the other way. Don't look at her.
Oh
Look
yes.
the other way.
This unoriginal motherfucker now is gonna steal Alan Jackson's thing. Look the other way, which would be a good roast if this jury heard the look the other way speech, but they didn't. This unoriginal motherfucker can't even come up with his own thing.
2:27. Look the other way. Don't look at what she did. Former Trooper Proctor. Look the other way. Don't look at her. Every time they make those, oh, she got the glass from inside the Albert. Maybe in the basement. Look the other way. Don't look the other way. Look at the facts. Look at the data. And it all leads to one person. There's no grand conspiracy. It leads to one person, the defendant. And it's not just the data and facts. It's her herself. Let's talk about Mr. Proctor. You were invoked with this emotion early in the opening that this is a cancer. That's a tough word. Trying to evoke that primal reaction we discussed. I'm not saying you shouldn't be disgusted by the text messages. You should. They're not defensible. I don't stand here and defend impropriety. I don't. But that doesn't change the physical evidence, the scientific evidence, and the data. He was terminated.
The data.
He paid a penalty. He was held responsible for what he did. He should have been. He should have been. But that doesn't get a free pass. That doesn't change the facts. It doesn't change the physical evidence. It doesn't change the science. It's unfortunate. It's distasteful. It's dishonorable. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Trooper Lieutenant was asked, was the investigation with honor and integrity? And he said it was. Was Trooper Proctor's effort honor and integrity? And he said it was integrity. They never said honor. That's a man of honor. Military service,
Oh my
dedicated to his
God.
country, highest level of clearances to the President of the United States, now a state trooper. He would not say that Trooper Proctor was honorable.
So Bukkake is honorable because he wouldn't say that Proctor was honorable. So he's honorable because the guy that liked his fucking disgusting messages and gave him big thumbs up. Oh wait, he was only acknowledging those. Right. The guy that knew that Proctor was shady and lied about being friends with the McAlberts. He's an honorable guy. The guy that looked past all this, honorable, real honorable guy.
Because he wasn't. He wasn't. But it does not. It doesn't create a conspiracy. It doesn't invent a dog. It doesn't make somebody in a house something they're not. It just doesn't. When you read those text messages, they're hard to look at. It's unfair. It's unfair. And if there's a penalty more than being fired, well, maybe that penalty would be deserved. But it has nothing to do with the justice in this case. It just doesn't. There's not one piece of evidence, not one, that we can look at and say, this was tampered with. This was planted. This was distorted. Remember when we introduced the taillights at the beginning? I didn't introduce three of the taillights, but then the defense did, so I put them in. Those are taillights that were only found by Trooper Proctor. I did not put that evidence in. Understanding.
So he's honorable because he didn't put taillights into evidence that Proctor found. He's honorable because of that. So I didn't use anything Proctor gave us, except he gave us like everything.
Text messages and appreciating the disdain one might have for his comments. Not that there was any evidence of tampering, not that there was any evidence that it was not true, but I didn't put that evidence before you.
Oh.
Because we didn't need Trooper Proctor in this case.
We didn't need him.
We don't need Trooper Proctor to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt.
We don't need him.
That's why I didn't introduce that evidence.
We don't need Trooper Proctor. We just need the results of his investigation. We just need all that. All that. Remember, Ashley Valliere put the taillight together. Who found all that taillight? Proctor did. Besides that, we don't need him, though. We don't need him at all. Okay.
Now, there's been a lot of talk about the planting of taillight. We know the taillight wasn't planted because Trooper Buchanan and Mr. Proctor did not go down to Dighton to see Miss Reed until later in the afternoon. We know from the 507 video, we've seen that. We know the taillight was already missing when she was leaving the driveway. When the good Canton police detectives went to do a wellness check to care for those young children, and they went to the house, inadvertently, they didn't even know it, the dash cam captured the back of the car. The taillight packed with snow is missing. It's already gone. It can't be planted. At this point, Trooper Proctor's still in his pajamas. He's not even on the case. He's not even on the scene.
He's on his pajamas.
He's near
Okay.
the car. And then the Dighton videos themselves, when you take it at an angle and it moves, but if you get the right angle, you can see it's missing.
What?
It's gone. Can we have slide 18, please?
What? If you look at it in the right angle, okay.
507. You can play any angle you want. If you look at this angle, it's gone.
It's gone. No, but this part's all still here, and the diffuser still works. And this part's here, and the diffuser works.
You don't plant it.
And this one doesn't show the side of the taillight.
Gone. You know where it is? 34 Fairview Road, on in the retail.
Oh, okay.
29, 2022, 823. Look at the right hand side. Look at the left hand side. It's packed with snow. It's gone. It's gone. And the same thing when you do videos, it's a different angle, a little smaller. You can play that and watch the less go up and down and slow it down. You'll see it expands. It's gone. So when you have Diagnostic Barrows come in here and try to tell you what he saw in the salad, what could have been it, you got to ask yourself, what interest does he have coming in here in this case? A lot of attention on this case. A lot of people watching.
Oh my
Comes in
God.
After, of course, driving all the way out to the defense attorney's hotel to meet in the conference room so he can get a subpoena. He spends 2 hours driving up and back so that he can conveniently get a subpoena that tells him to appear, which he could have got by fax or in the mail.
He could have gotten a fax, right? Because Barrows has a fucking fax machine in his house. So ignore everything Barrows said because Barrows is an attention whore who has a broken fax machine. I mean, that's all. I mean, imagine hearing that devastating testimony, and it's like, yeah, but he could have had it faxed to him. So that guy's full of shit, clearly. But why would Barrows lie? Oh, he's an attention whore. He likes attention. Couldn't he also get attention by saying that the taillight was completely destroyed? Couldn't he have also gotten attention that way? Okay. Okay.
And so when he comes in, what he says is, that's absolutely not what I saw. Absolutely not. And then he claims at the last time he testified, he made the same statement. I showed him his transcript. And did you see the redness creep over his face? He never said this before. He testified to the opposite. And so he sits on the stand with a new story after a meeting. We don't know why. But then I show him.
By the way, I'm glad Peggy suddenly snapped out of it and is no longer crying. Is she not the least sympathetic mother of a murder victim like ever? And I'm glad that she testified because the people, I'd never heard her talk before. And then I heard her talk. Oh, besides when she said, "Where's Lindsay?" Sucking Frankie's dick, I guess, and getting him arrested again, probably, most likely, or sending some other guy to jail. She can't even find a new guy to send to jail. She's like stuck. We're going back to Frankie. But I'm glad when she took the stand, Paul's over there. I fucking hate being my husband. Kill me now. She's like the least sympathetic mother of a murder victim ever. And her act is getting old and nobody feels bad for her. Like even John DePetro fakes it with her. Oh, Peggy O'Keefe. Oh, yeah.
That black and white photo with the snow. With the best thing I say is this the way it looked. That's of course before the snow melts out in the solid port so that you can see it unexposed. And he says, yes, he had to agree. This taillight was gone. There's no boogeyman. There's no plant. There's no taken to the salad port. There's no one tearing out pieces. In fact, remember I played you a clip and you'll have it where the defendant says, I was picking up pieces. It was crashed in. The bulb was showing when I was showing Kerry and Jen when they went back to Meadows. If you don't remember, listen to that clip. You'll hear it. Unfortunately, there's no ring video when they go back to Meadows. There's a ring video when she leaves. There's no ring video when she gets back.
No, there's no ring. Oh, really? So did Buchanan testify anything about that? Oh, right. He did. He did. They subpoenaed ring. It turns out Kearney didn't delete that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But we'll just still kind of allude to the fact that she might have deleted it.
And so now when we're talking about the other way, we want to find a dog bite. So enter Dr. Russell. Dr. Russell, according to her, nice woman, nice doctor, very accomplished. I respect that. She's the only dog expert in the world. thing is, we know no idea what that expertise means. She volunteers for the job. She wants to be here. Her profile, but she can't explain methodology. What are you looking for in a dog bite? She can't tell us. It starts a year ago that it's claws, it's teeth, and then it's claws, then it's teeth, and then it's I don't know. And then when you look at each of the different parts of the abrasions, she says, well, I can't tell if I look at each one of them, but all together it's a dog bite. It's a dog attack. That is the masterful expertise that the defense has bragged about bringing in. Dr. Russell telling you, because she says this is a dog bite. She has never been in a forensic situation where she's looked at a wound and identified it as a dog bite before.
I still don't get why they didn't bring Garrett Wing, but I digress.
The first time, the only time she's ever done it. And what she says is these are not punctures. Punctures means it goes into the skin, a wound. There's no punctures. And she's sure because she's an expert, so you should rely on her because she's coming in saying she's an expert and she's being presented. Yet, after saying there's no punctures, Dr. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗂𝗏 comes in and she sees punctures everywhere. It's an animal attack. It's a dog. How is it? No method, no methodology, no history of this, no prior testimony that we know of other than arbitrarily what she says. And she says the exact opposite of Dr. Russell. Why is that?
Well, she didn't.
So obviously, there is no science to looking at an abrasion and saying where it came from. They give us no detail. They give us nothing that we should rely on. They contradict each other. It's just predicted to look the other way. And so we have now the issue of
it's almost done. I promise.
Over and over again, there's no collision. There's no collision.
Yeah, yeah,
no collision.
yeah. You're
They
gonna
have a number of witnesses come in.
Yeah.
Try to say that.
Are you going to address that?
𝗺𝗿𝗃𝗺𝗺, who works at the medical examiner's office, she tells you that she doesn't see injuries consistent with a collision. She's looking at this case for 90 days. 90 days. The evidence in this case did not stop. It continued for 2 years. She knows nothing about the data, nothing about the black box, nothing about the interviews of Miss Reed. She doesn't know about the.
He's saying that Dr. 𝗫𝗿𝗄𝗏, his witness is full of shit. The state medical examiner is full of shit because she didn't watch the documentaries. Oh, okay. Okay.
DNA. She doesn't know about the shards in the arm or in the clothes. Strike that in the clothes. She knows nothing about that. So in 90 days, she didn't see any lower body injuries. She didn't see any lower extremity injuries, which are very common in car collisions. But that doesn't mean it didn't happen because she, in 90 days, saw a fraction of the information. A fraction. And we know now, argument back and forth for days about lower body injuries, the suggestion is a car accident can affect everybody differently depending on the angle, the scope, the speed. Some people can get clouded by a car, have no injuries. Some people can get touched lightly and have more injuries. And there was the debate about no lower body injuries. Well, ARCA dispelled that in their dummy test that you can have a collision with no lower body injuries. They did that for us. Thank you. And so the idea that at the time in 90 days that she doesn't have enough information to say consistent with a car accident doesn't mean there's no car accident.
What about the broken arm, Spanky? Are you going to address the fact that his arm isn't broken? Are you going to do anything to combat Dr. Rentschler's testimony? Anything?
Let me talk a little bit about ARCA. I don't want to waste too much time with them.
I don't want to waste too much time with them.
Expert who's supposed to come to you.
Here we go.
The arbiter of truth. Their opinions weigh no more than yours. Your common sense has more value than an expert's opinion. Their job is to assist you, to explain what their expertise is so that it's a tool for you so that you can make a decision. That's objectivity. We've heard words like confirmation bias, objectivity. Mr. Wolf got on the stand. And before we even started, you have to ask yourself, what expert has a court order for text messages and then release the text messages? What expert, what objective expert uses Signal, an encrypted app, to communicate about the case?
What? That's all you have is he deleted text messages and he used an encrypted app. Does he think that scares people? Oh, does he think that they're going to think that sounds shady? Oh, not encrypted. Oh, that sounds like some CIA shit. Oh, encrypted. Bro, everything's encrypted. Your fucking Facebook messages are encrypted. Everything's encrypted. Because people don't. Can you believe this guy doesn't want the government reading all his messages? He doesn't want me reading all his messages. He must be hiding something. People who like privacy are shady. What about people who talk on the phone? Those messages also cannot be heard. So anyone who has a conversation on the phone, like Brian Higgins and Brian Albert talk for 22 seconds. We don't know what they talked about because it's on the phone. It's not a text message. Like, this is insane. Any meeting in person between two people is not written down and we can't read it. Therefore, it's shady. What the fuck? This guy's obsessed with Signal. Like, it's crazy.
Never used it before, hasn't used it since. And so when he did his tests, he used a lower weight arm. Wasn't trying to bash him, wasn't trying to insult him, tried to get him to recognize that a 9.38 pound arm is less weight than John O'Keefe's metric, which would be 11.8. That's all. And because the lighter arm, it takes more speed to create the same damage. I don't know science, I don't know math very well, but that's basic. It's basic. And he fought me over and over again. Did he seem objective that he was trying to help you? Because Dr. Rentschler came in the next day and said, well, you have to adjust for that. That's all I asked him for an hour about adjusting, just like Judge Welcher adjusted. Do you adjust it? And he tried to talk to me like I was making something up. His own colleague had to admit it. Now, it's funny, he admitted it before he got to his credentials. No sequestration order violations. Nobody was coaching him, but he knew enough to come in at the beginning and get right on that point. And speaking of sequestration, remember Dr. Russell on her limo ride over? If Brendan asked
The
you a
limo
question,
ride.
make sure you ask for the transcript. Impede the progress. Slow down with the questioning. Interfere.
Oh, yeah.
Sequestration orders is so there's fundamental fairness for all witnesses, not just some. And so what happens with Dr. Renfrew, we don't know, but we do know he comes in here and he tells you that he was not getting information that was helping him the last time he testified. He insisted. I asked him 5 times, was he getting information that would help him in his testimony? Not from the defense, from his former employer. He said, no, no, no. And at the end of the examination, he reads his transcript and it's yes, yes, yes. And he tells us that he's independent and objective. I asked him about a lunch, and not a big deal. Just ask him about it. And he says, I have a sandwich and I stand in the corner until I remind him that we got video footage from a documentarium and he's in one of the scenes. And then things change. So
I can't get over the ham sandwich. Did you know? He thinks he pulled some fucking Perry Mason shit. Listen to this.
Just ask him about information that would help him in his testimony. Not from the defense, from his former employer. He said, no, no, no. And at the end of the examination, he reads his transcript and it's yes, yes, yes. And he tells us that he's independent and objective. I asked him about a lunch, and not a big deal. Just ask him about it. And he says, I have a sandwich and I stand in the corner until I remind him that we got video footage from a documentarium and he's in one of the scenes.
Gotcha! Gotcha, motherfucker! Gotcha! Ooh, he thought he could get away with eating that ham sandwich. He said he didn't eat the ham sandwich. And then I confronted him with the ID documentary footage, and I'm like, there, look at that motherfucker! Look at you eating that goddamn ham sandwich! Is that you? Is that you with the ham sandwich in the corner? And he had to admit it. Yes, that was me. You got me, Spanky. I ate the whole ham sandwich, and it was fucking good, dude. It was so good. I loved it. I'll never forget that ham sandwich. There was provolone, the bread. Oh, the bread was to die for. It had the perfect amount of pickle and lettuce, and oh, it was just fucking good, and a little bit of onion too. They spoiled me, motherfucker. I was going to come in there and say that John's arm would be perfectly fine after getting hit by a car. That's what I intended to say. But then came the ham sandwich, and I fucking lied. You got me, Spanky. I lied. I lied. I lied. I will fucking do anything for a ham sandwich. I will fucking suck anyone's dick for a ham sandwich again, Spanky. Don't you know? I will fucking do anything. I will sell my fucking soul for a ham sandwich. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord.
And then things change. So when you talk about objectivity, they can come in and say, Judge Welcher said this and that. It doesn't make it so. Judge Welcher, Dr. Welcher, never in any report, in any presentation, in any testimony to you, ever suggested this is how it happened. This was how his arm was. This is how his feet was. He was trying to show whether or not the orientation, could this happen with the angle, with the height. That's all that test was. It was no more. But what they do is they reposture it, repackage it, and say it means this when it doesn't, and we're going to show you why it's not that, therefore we win. That's all that is. It's semantics. Judge Welcher, Dr. Welcher, never suggested that. And his work on texturing data, unassailable. And so what we have, inevitably, is we have a timeline that never moves, data that never changes, physical evidence that can't be put in that spot without a collision. We have, inevitably, proof, without any doubt, that on January 29, 2022, Ms. Reed was with Mr. O'Keefe, and she got drunk. She drank. She was 2 to 3 times over the legal limit. And they went to a party, an after party, and they were fighting.
Yeah, okay.
She got drunk.
Yeah, she got drunk. Yeah, okay.
She left him to die. It's that simple.
Right, okay, right.
We don't know exactly how this collision happened, but we have a good idea from the physical evidence. And we know
we don't know exactly how this happened, but we got a good idea. We don't fucking know. That's like, could you end worse than that? We don't know exactly how this happened, but we got a pretty good idea. I think we got a good idea. I mean, by the way, he doesn't bring up the blue paint test, his ace in the hole. That just never comes up once this entire closing.
No, that it happened. Can someone have a collision without lower body injuries? Clip slide 19, please. You bet they can.
Oh, you bet they can.
We don't know if this is the body position. We don't know if this is the exact speed, but what it tells us, this is viable. Look at the debris field. Look at his turn. Remember his sneaker on that curb that got lodged against the
He's in a fucking harness, motherfucker. What do you think's gonna happen? He can't fall. What? He's a. What the fuck does this prove besides the taillight will break? They got us there. The taillight will break. The taillight will break. I concede that. The issue is so will his arm. And what up with that, Spanky?
Mr. O'Keefe then falls back, hits his head, count the coupe, left to die.
And now here's the big finale, guys. The big finale is the buffalo on the prairie text.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt what happened that night. There is no doubt who did
There's
it.
no doubt.
You have a very difficult task ahead of you when you consider the evidence and you consider the law. Very difficult. There are 3 charges. There is second-degree murder. Ms. Reed, when she chose to drive back at Mr. O'Keefe in that night with a 6,000-pound Lexus, in that anger, 75%, whether she meant to hit him or not, didn't mean to kill him, she hit him. Straight, it is a plain and strong likelihood of death. You would never get back down your driveway if your kids were at the end of the driveway. You say, well, you're going to kill somebody? You would never do it because you would expect, if you drove at them at that speed, that someone would die. That's second-degree murder. OUI manslaughter, she's drunk, she was reckless. She doesn't have to know she hit him. She doesn't even have to know she hit him. But she did. She did. And she left a man who was kind and generous and thoughtful. She left him alone. She left him alone to die. Could I have slide 22, please? He is not.
He's
John
not.
O'Keefe is not a body.
This is really how he ended it, huh?
John O'Keefe is not a buffalo on a prairie.
Oh, he's not a buffalo on a
John
prairie.
O'Keefe was a person.
Oh.
And he was murdered.
Oh, okay.
By Kearney.
That's it. That's it.
Take it. Thank you.
Oh my God. That was I can't believe these retards think that was good. He talks about the ham sandwich, but he doesn't talk about the blue paint. Okay. Doesn't address anything. I mean, what a fucking moron. That's all I got to say. What a moron. All right. Let me read some turtle chats before we get ready for another night tomorrow. Let me, another big day tomorrow of standing around waiting for a verdict. I think it's going to come a lot earlier tomorrow. I think it's going to come in the morning. 11 o'clock is I think it's going to come at 11. They're not waiting for their free lunch tomorrow. They're going to do this at 11. They're going to end this shit. End this charade. It's going to be awesome. All right. All right. Melissa sends $10, goes, hi, Turtle Boy. I missed it, but did ARCA ever say who drove the car in their testing? I loved your 34 Fairview. I don't think they did. I loved your 34 Fairview Road video attempting to go 24 in reverse and was wondering if ARCA had to use stunt or pro drivers to complete those tests. It's a great question, and I don't know the answer to that, but it is a good question nonetheless. So thank you, Melissa. Maryland Turtle Rider sends $10, goes, Foreman in first trial was on the take, and you thought he was pro KR until after the trial. First of all, he's not on the take. He's just a fucking idiot. Okay. There's no evidence he's on the take. How can you be so confident in your assessment of this Foreman? I am convinced they got the jury again. You just have to see the guy. And you're like, that guy, no fucking way. This guy ain't on the take. Trust me. If you see this mofo ain't on the take. No way. No goddamn way. So thank you. Meatballs Nuts sends $10 and goes, please research the ties between disgraced ex-Dedham cop Michael Schoner and Morrissey. Post-conviction, he remained free on bail for 4 years, even though during that time he was pinched several times for DUI charges. Okay, I'll get right on that. Thanks. Carmen sends $100 and goes, God bless Turtle Boy. Without you, and thank you very much, Carmen. It's very generous. Without you, and you're putting a spotlight on the corruption in this case, the world would not be watching. That's fair. That's fair. I do feel like I had a pretty big role in kind of blowing this case up. Justice for John O'Keefe, Free County Reed, Turtle Boy, support from Vegas. Awesome. Vegas Turtle Riders. Love to see it. Lena sends $5, goes, listen, Turtle, we all know Jen Googled that at 227, but what these idiots don't realize is even if 227 never happened, it doesn't mean Karen's guilty. It's irrelevant to when it comes to Karen's guilt or innocence. Thank you for everything you do. God bless you. Well, thank you, Lena. I appreciate that. And I suppose you're right. You don't need 227 to prove Karen Reed's innocent. You need 227 to prove Jen McCabe's guilty, which she is. Carla sends $5, goes, Dr. Daddy Turtle Boy, thanks for all you do and bringing this to us who can't be there. Free Karen Reed and Free Turtle Boy. Well, thank you. Karen sends $10, goes, Turtle Boy, I believe John was murdered. However, after review of trial through evidence, it appears an accident may have been easier to prove. Was there evidence that it was not an accident? What? P.S. Just booked a red-eye flights for myself and 2 littles. Hope to meet you. Thanks for all you do. The other Karen. Like an accident inside the house? I don't get it. I don't get it. He got in a fight and he fell down. I'm sure they didn't intend to kill him, but they did nonetheless. Okay, cool. Thanks. Next up, Julie sends $10, goes, hi, Dr. Turtle Boy. I can't wait to wake up tomorrow morning to a not guilty verdict 3 times from a turtle roo in Melbourne, Australia. Absolutely, Julie. It's going to happen tomorrow. I'm feeling it. Jenna sends $100. Woo, thanks, Jenna. And says, Aidan, I'm so glad court went well for you last week. My dad, Peter Murphy, Peter's kid, said he attended your hearing and you had a lot of support. Yes, he did. He attended a lot of the trial. Quick shout out to Jamie and Jono, Canton High School class of 97. Free Karen Reed. She didn't hit him. She didn't hit him. She didn't hit him. Thank you, Jenna. You're the man. Emma sends $10, goes, we made the Dream Team FKR socks with you on them. I sent a picture to your Timothy Kearney Facebook account. Did I see this? Let me see if I can. Oh, there they are. Check these out. Yeah, these are pretty dope. I like these. Look at those things. I'm on there. Oh, there I am. Right there. I made the socks. Nice. I made the turtle socks. Okay, cool. So thank you very much for that one. Emma. Paul's Glazed Donut Shop sends $5 and goes, thank you for your YouTube program. It's a presentation, actually. For charity, are Chili's gift cards acceptable gifts? Yes, I will definitely take Chili's gift cards if you hand them out to me. So thank you very much. I went there the other night, actually, the one in Auburn. Usually we go to Leominster. We went to Auburn the other day. It was lovely. Marcy sends $10 and goes, is it a car accident or not? The jury slip simplified by Mark Betterow tonight on Young Jerks tonight. I'll have to watch that. Jennifer sends $25 and goes, you look like you got some color today. Yes, mostly red. Thank you for being there today and for taking a pic with me and my cousin. My pleasure. When do you think the verdict will come? Tomorrow, end of the week? Tomorrow, 11 o'clock, done. Oliver sends $10, goes, on our way to Dedham, we stopped for a meal of food for lunch at the Wegmans Cafe on University Ave. And lo and behold, who's there with a feedback strapped to them? Meatball Morrissey. No way. Take a picture. Thanks. No ass bitch sends $10 and goes, free Karen Reed. I'm just envisioning the big group hugs between Karen and her family and counsel. It's coming soon. I think about that a lot. I can't wait to be in the courtroom when it happens. Thank you. Tara the Bunny Boiler sends $10, goes, what's up with Eddie Hernandez's ex-wife bashing Karen all over Facebook? Did Brian, I don't know who his ex-wife is, so I wouldn't know. Did Brian Albert sucker punch Eddie over her? What is her personal vendetta with Karen Reed? It's pretty weird. I can't comment because I don't know. So thank you. Marcy sends $10, goes, I love this. Is it a car accident or not? Betterow on simplifying the jury slip on the Young Jerks tonight. Is it a car accident or not? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. You're right. Madison sends $10 and goes, Aidan, this weekend, a lady came to my yard sale showing her arm that recently got bit by a dog, and it looked so much like John's arm. She gasped when I showed her a picture of John's arm. She also had no marks on the bottom of her forearm. Now I have no doubt it was a dog who attacked John. Exactly. Hank's unedited nude sends $5, goes, we need a duck boat parade to celebrate once this is over for Karen mostly, but also to reverse the damage done to a woman's equality by Bev, Julie Grant, Deaver, and normal moms. Also, Peggy is still a cunt. Okay, thank you. LP sends $5 and goes, did you think AJ would ever run for president? He's got my vote. I don't think he will, but I'd vote for him. Laura in Scottsdale sends $5 and goes, I wonder if there's a juror saying, and what the fuck with the 227 Hoslung to die in cold? It's got your attention. There's bound to be one that cannot get over Jen Googling that. It's so incriminating. I predict Thursday after lunch, after they get their free meal. Maybe. We'll see. Amanda sends $20, goes, when did you stop talking to DePetro? He's such a weirdo. I didn't realize you were cordial with him at one point, and he was actually on Karen Reed's side. He was never on Karen Reed's side, but I was cordial with him. Between John and Grant, I just can't 100% get the ick. You're right. Both are creeps. Thank you, Amanda. The Albert Family Rock sends $10, goes, allow me to summarize the positions of the two sides. AJ says, not only have you not proven anything, but what you allege is impossible. Brennan, ignore all of that. Trust me, bro. Send this woman to prison because I say so. Yeah, basically. Judge Beverly sends $10 and goes, there's no easier way for a judge to manipulate a trial outcome than through jury instructions and the verdict slipped, steering hard toward a hung jury mistrial. Fuck. No, we'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Amanda sends $10 and goes, do you think John O'Keefe Sr. actually believes Karen Reed's guilty? I don't think that guy really cares that much about anything. I can't get a read on him. I just don't get the vibe that he thinks that's true. Also, I don't think he really likes Peggy or Paul either. Can you blame him? I mean, seriously. Steven sends $5, goes, Attorney Betterow was just showing and explaining the verdict slipped on another podcast. What the fuck? I would not expect a verdict tomorrow based on this piece of shit confusing verdict slipped. Only in mass. Not fair to the jury. Agreed. But I think they will acquit tomorrow. $5 here from Nicole and says, AJ made such a good point. If someone asks you to Google hypothermia, why the hell would you search how long to die in cold? I have faith that the feds know so much more than we do and will arrest these mofos soon. Soccer mom will be coaching in federal prison. I wish. Thank you, Nicole. Let me read some. And then Boston Jones sends $25, goes, I liked Hank better in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I see what you did there. Okay, let me just read some cash apps here. All right. Cam sends $5, goes, a reporter saying you losing all your money. Yeah, fuck him. Thanks. Nina sends $5 and goes, I just found DePetro is related to Higgins. I doubt it. Cam sends $5, goes, New York Times TikTok about you. I mean, New York Post sued again by a huge dude. Okay. Katie sends $10, goes, Hank is a lying rat. No lies detective. Lakia sends $5, goes, thanks for all you do. Free Karen Reed. My pleasure, Lakia. Aidan sends $5 and goes, Doc, how were the faces of the jury with Spanky? Yeah, just not as engaged. So, a lot of them paid attention, but a couple of them clearly weren't as much. Thank you. Okay. Taylor sends $10 and says, Doctor, who should we watch the verdict with? Melanie, LTL, Emily Baker, will you be streaming from outside the courthouse? I mean, whoever you want. I'm not telling you who to stream with, but if you had to be home like us, what would you do? If I was home with you, I would stream it myself, but whoever you like the most, that's what I would do. Thanks always. Free Karen Reed, free Turtle Boy. Thank you. Okay. I think we're caught up there. Okay. All right, guys. So that's about it, guys. I love all you fine people. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow, man. Tomorrow's the day. It's gonna be a dope show tomorrow night. It's gonna be a dope show. So I'm gonna be out now. I'm gonna get a good night's sleep as best I can. It's almost midnight, but I love all you fine people. And wherever you're streaming it tomorrow, enjoy the vibes. It's gonna be good shit. I hope to meet a lot of fine people in Dedham tomorrow morning. Peace to your bum crease and free Karen Reed, baby. Brush your teeth.
It calls for data including calendars, alerts, reminders, notes, text messages, pictures, or videos from April 1st, 2023 through and including October 5th, 2023. 7 months